All right.
Are you serious? You are an asshole.
Guys.
You know what he's got there as our picture?
Oh, I didn't even see that.
His noodle arms.
But it's fitting.
An asshole.
That is very fitting right now, as if I remember correctly, you have 2 broken arms. Oh, let's see here. So you guys started off in Automata, which is basically the organized city of Mechanus. Right at the end of the insane asylum type place where you're rescued, who was supposed to be Huron, but he didn't go by that at the moment. When we picked everything up, you guys just came out of this asylum, and you could see all the marching Modrons outside. The buildings were starting to collapse. You could see this giant portal into Mechanus, that had opened up, and it was the beginning of the Modron March, which I believe, Zahn, you familiar with it, at least to a point, so some of the others. But basically, the Modron's going to march every X number of years, and they march across the whole plains. In this case, it was 103 years early. Huron grabbed a hold of you guys and took off running, saying he knew how to get to some safety. You had a couple shadow people that were following you and launching arrows. Zahn, as you guys were headed out, you got stepped on by a giant Modron, completely crushing your back end and pulverizing one of your back legs. Came around the corner where you had Huron. He was leading everybody down into a sewer line. Got hit with a couple arrows here and there from those shadow people, but ultimately got down into the sewers where he led you through a few twists and turns as everything was sort of collapsing around you. Came upon to a grate area, asking Seda to rip this grate open. And with that, he ripped out one of his eyeballs. I think he gave it to Tiva or somebody. Shoved the book in your hands, chopped the finger off of Seda, which activated the portal and shoved you all through. On the other side, you came into a realm that was just completely corrupted, polluted. Oil filled the grounds, thick with smog. In the distance, you could see a tower that was kind of leaning crooked, some hills and mountains in the far, far distance. Zahn, you were able to use the portal information to figure out you were in part of what would be called Zeos, or basically on the outer edge of the plains of chaos. This whole area was just littered with, it was basically polluted by a bunch of mining dwarves or gnomes of some sort that just raped the land of everything. I believe, Seda, you decided to light up a torch, blowing everybody up a few times. Zahn, you had some scarabs that got underneath your skin and are crawling around. Eventually started raining acid rain, so you headed into that tower where there was a mind flayer who had exploded. Hung out in there for a little bit, trying to recover the best you could. Upstairs, you could hear screaming that was still going on. That, too, proved to be another mind flayer that imploded upon itself. These little white maggots going everywhere. There was a giant pool in the center. You could tell that there was a one-way portal in the upper level that led to, I think it was the Abyss or the Nine Hells, or one of the places. And that these mind flayers were proxies of some sort of god. Let's see. From there, you guys continue to head north, where you can see that there was some sort of larger, not real big, but a city or a fortress-type keep of some sort along the mountain's edge. And eventually, you reached that, passed by another one of these Mind Flayer proxies that had exploded. Throughout all of that, let's see, Tiva, you ended up breaking both of your arms, which is why you are now the Noodle Woman, or the Noodle Halfling, I guess.
Don't forget the Beholder.
Oh, yeah. And you encountered the Beholder, who was asking you questions and seemed to be mocking you a little bit and playing around you. That's what caused Tiva to jump out the window and break the other arm. The town that you came to was called Iron Ridge. It was basically an outkeep of mining. There was dwarves and humans there mostly. Nothing really exciting ever seems to happen there. At least you were told by the guard guy who was reading a book at the front gate. But he directed you to the Happy Griffin Inn, who said you could probably meet up with somebody who might be able to reset your arms, Tiva, and help out Zahn with his broken leg, or mangled leg. Through the town, you got to the Happy Griffin, met Sid Costa. He is like one of the patrons there who sat down with you and said he would see what he could do to help you out. And Ginny, who was the bartender who came over and brought you some food. They set you up for rest for as long as you needed to kind of get things healed back up and ready to go. Ended it there. Anything major that I missed that anybody wants to add? I'm sure there's a lot more that happened, but I tried to breeze through that for the most part.
Did they get the scarabs out of Zan?
Nope, they are still in her leg.
I mean, of course we did.
Nope, they're crawling around. As you look over at her TV, you can see one kind of crawling underneath her cheek.
So Zan gave Seda a working task to to make a rolling crutch for him.
Yes.
Yes. Which Seda could probably do. Yeah, there was the beholder, the illithid worshipping guys who exploded. So we're able to get some rest, but do we have any did we talk to anybody about these things that are inside of Zan? Or they, I mean,
No, we haven't yet. We talked to the people there about the illithids and that they had their little temple or whatever close by, but they never had any problems with them. That we did, and
yeah, they mentioned that it's been decades since they've had any issues with either the beholders or the illithids. They pretty much stayed themselves underground and out in the polluted
and we
wastes.
collected all the issues then in just one meeting.
Yes, Sid mentioned that he would be able to help you the next day. He knew some people who might be able to help Zan's leg and other things. Recommended you just get some rest for the night the best you could. They set you up for the place place here at the tavern. He will give you all sleeping potions though, so you can basically take off the pain and make sure you get a good night's rest.
Why are they so nice?
He seems like a very nice guy. He's just basic human, younger. Well, probably like in his 40s. Seems to be pretty decent. Let's see. So he stands about 6 foot, rather plump, white spiked hair, and a soft white beard. He's human, mid-40s. He wears a gown, like a silken gown that is white and red. And he does have a medallion around his neck. If anybody wants to give me maybe just an intelligence check, see if you recognize what that is.
No.
You got to roll under your score.
Yes, yes. So forget it.
I got a 1 under a 7.
Wow.
Perfect. In that case, Seda, however you happen to know this, but when he does it, it is a medallion for the priestess Inan. She's the priestess of love, war, and protection. Generally followed by people who are set out to... Most of her priests will kind of devote themselves to a town and do everything they can to help that town achieve greatness and succeed and not fall into poverty and waste.
Oh, do you tell Zahn that?
Yeah, so I would mention that you said the name of the deity, and so say, yeah, it's a deity of love and peace and all. Basically just reiterate what you said, and then just kind of rock back on my heels one time with a big, like, proud look on her face, like, haha, I knew something. And
I give you a good look. I actually bent down a little bit and look into your eyes while you're saying that. And as soon as he's satisfied, or I'm satisfied, I grab one of those potions and I'm almost stumbling for a sleeping place.
Yep.
And I keel over, totally exhausted.
I look over at Tiva and I say it was in a really cool picture book I read one time, and somebody explained to me.
When you point that out, Seda, you can see Sid look down at this. He'll take the medallion, kind of put it back under his vest. He has a bit of a ashamed look on his face almost. He says, we will speak of it tomorrow. Please take these, get a bit of rest for the night. I'll be back in the morning with Himmel, and together we can help prepare, fix up your injuries, and at least set you off in the right direction. I've secured rooms upstairs, pillowy mattresses, warm baths. Please take the night to rest, and we'll speak in the morning.
So what time of the day is it?
By the time you guys got there, it'd be later afternoon, probably like 5, 6-ish in the evening, kind of.
So if it's all right, what Seda would probably do is assist Tiva in, like, I guess, getting bathed and all that stuff, and then if there's time, she would ask to go outside, like, and see if she could start working on in the evening and spend her evening working on getting that crutch thing built. Because she's kind of feeling guilty, even though all of the injuries weren't caused by her. She's just kind of feeling guilty that everybody else is so hurt and she's not. So she would probably ask if she can go out there and work on that, and then I guess ask the innkeeper if there any, or whoever, is there anything else she can do that around there that they require some help with that's manual labor focused, and telling them that, you know, she feels like she ought to at least try to earn her way.
Tiva and Zan, do you guys take the potions?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Once Seda takes you both in, then you can see that the room is actually pretty well decorated. You can see that they spent some money in this. It has very large, pillowy beds. They'll even throw one and drag it off and put it over in the corner, so you don't have to sleep on straws on it. It's a big, plush mattress. And get everything sort of set up for you guys. These potions will kick in pretty quick, and they just put you into the best sleep you've ever had. Peaceful dreams of your childhood and playfulness, and you guys are just out like rocks, just done.
He was just laying in bed. He was so comfortable. But why are they so? And she got out.
All the pain just disappears from you guys as you get a good solid sleep. You can bump your hit points all the way back up to full.
Wow.
You're still going to have a shattered leg and broken arm for the moment, but outside, say after you get them all set up and you come out, Sid looks like he's since left the building, but Ginny stands at the bar wiping it down and watches you as you head over. She's like, "What can I do for you, dwarf? I don't think we've met. Well, what's your name?"
She says, "My name is Seda of the Iron Beard clan."
She'll hold out a small hand. This girl's pretty small, maybe 5 foot at best, even though she's human. Really, really frail looking.
Yeah.
Very light skin, but she kind of holds her hand out to shake yours the best she can. She says, "Ginny, my name is Ginny. I think Sid mentioned it. I hope the rooms are appropriate for your friends."
Oh yeah, they look actually really nice compared to what we have had here lately. But no, it's my friends are both really injured. The horseman guy, he's got a really bad broken leg, and she's like constantly rubbing her eyes because she's still hurt pretty bad. She hasn't taken her potion yet. So she's like, and his leg might be hurt. It might kind of be partially my fault, and just a little bit. And my best friend has got 2 broken arms, and to be honest, I can't remember if either one of those was my fault, but it could be.
One of them was.
So I've had kind of a bad day. So
That's horrible.
Yeah, so what I was hoping I could do was maybe if you guys had like an old wooden wagon cart or something outside, or something that I could maybe tinker with and try to build Mr. Zahn a crutch to help him get around a little bit. And then if there's, he kind of looks for Jenny over and sees that she's really tiny, and it's pretty obvious that Seda is not, and she's got big thick arms, and she's like, and if there's anything else that you need around here that you need help moving something or anything, she's I'm I'm not the smartest person there is, but I'm pretty strong, so I can help out. I just feel like I should help out to help pay help pay you guys back for all the kindness.
Says, oh no, I'm sure I could take a bit of help here and there. So, if you trust in Sid, he's a very good man. He will do his best to take care of your friends.
He's been very kind so far. He's
Says,
a very nice man compared to most of the people we've met since we got here.
says, yes, this isn't the best village in the best of areas, but the people here, they're genuine, hardworking, strong. Many dwarfs like yourself. It's mostly a mining community. There's plenty of old carts and such. I'm sure you'd be able to get one without too much of a problem. I'll even send out Jared, my brother. He'll be able to secure something for you. It might take the evening, but it should work out perfectly fine for what you need. But as I was going to say, for Sid, he's fallen on rough times. She'll sort of look at you. Seda, you're not going to take advantage of the man, are you? He's a good man. I'd hate to see somebody take advantage of his kindness. He generally looks out for the best in people. You seem like a good young lady yourself.
Seda, so she'd kind of sit there and she says, well, when I was a little child, I fell and I hit my head really hard. And ever since then, my dad used to joke that it knocked the brains out of me. And so I don't, sometimes I have trouble figuring things out. And I've had people take advantage of me for not being smart. So I know how that feels. So no, the answer is no. No, nobody plans to take advantage of him. We aren't even supposed to be here. We arrived in this whole place by mistake, and we just want to go back home, and that's really it. And so we came here because it was the first place we saw, and the guy at the gate was really nice and saw that we were hurt, and so. And no, I mean, we're not here to take advantage. That's why I came down here to see if you needed any help, because you don't want to just take your charity for free. We'll want to pay for it in some way. So that's why I came down here to see if you needed a hand with anything, because I feel bad just you guys helping for nothing.
Oh, no. So every town has its corruption and seedy folk. And Iron Ridge is no different. We're good people living on the outskirts, eking by with what we can. We trade with those people passing through like yourself. A lot of our iron and ore goes north to the Norns. So, beyond that, we've just eke out the living the best we can and try to do the best with the other folks like yourself. She says, I don't need money from you or anything. If you wish to help, I could, use a little bit of help in the kitchen, prepping for tomorrow's breakfast. And it's going to be quite a busy day. We have a bit of a festival in the morning.
She goes, ooh, what kind of? You mean like cooking?
Well, yeah, we need some large thing of eggs that we do up. We fry up some bacon and some hams and make some porridge. It's an excellent thing. There will be, most of the town will be through in the morning as they set up the festival outside. You've come at the perfect time.
So she kind of does like a golf clap thing. She says, well, I don't know how to cook very well, but I really like bacon, so I can taste test for you, and I can carry all your pots and pans and anything that you need.
Excellent. We can have a bit of a feast tonight in honor of your friends and welcoming here, and tomorrow you will have a hell of a good time, Seda. I promise.
Yay! She's like genuinely happy now.
She'll call back for Jared, and you see the smaller guy come out, about the same age as her, maybe in the early 20s, still looks really frail and very light-skinned. Looks a lot like her. You definitely can tell that it's her brother. And she mentions looking for a cart and stuff, and he'll give you a bit of a nod. He doesn't say anything to you, though, and takes off out the door to go see what he can find for you. With that, she'll take you out back and pretty much just kind of not boss you around, but leads you in working up some things and carrying the pots and helping prepare for the morning.
Sweet. So I'll probably help her out until she doesn't need, and hopefully get some free bacon out of it, and then I'll down my own potion right before we go to bed, and probably take my bath in the morning.
She tells you that the festival is called the Wildflower Festival,
Okay.
where they have people that head out from the town. They head north on the other side of the mountains where the plains are, and gather up huge, massive barrels and wagons full of wildflowers that they bring back, and they decorate and create different floats and other odds and ends that they parade through the city, and they make different soups and stews and elixirs and wines, and basically just celebrate life. She goes into this quite long thing and talks your ear off for the most part, never really giving you a chance to say too much. But otherwise, yeah, you can see Jared comes back later on. Well, he doesn't talk, but he mentions or signs to this young lady that he found a few things. But he'll be happy to show you in the morning as it's getting quite late. By the time you're done, it'll be well past midnight and starting off into the morning.
Okay.
So yeah, you could take your potion and head to bed. Again, you're going to have the best sleep you've ever had with this potion. You can heal your hit points all the way up to full as well. And she would do the same for Zephyr and Vendrick as well, setting them off and getting them set up. And so the next morning, who wakes up first?
Probably not Seda, because she went to bed so much later. Well, a few hours later anyway. So it's really up to the two of them.
Oh, probably me then, because I ran first and just keeled over.
So you wake up in the morning, Zon. You can see Seda and Tiva sprawled out on their mattresses, snoring heartily. Seda's probably covered in bits of porridge, a piece of bacon hanging out of her mouth, maybe a fistful of bacon as well. Midnight snacks are always good. Your leg is just throbbing with pain at this point. You can see that the medicine, the potion's probably worn off. But you do feel at least refreshed in the sense of having a good night's sleep. The best you've had in weeks, probably.
I chase a bug under my skin with my finger, and I stop cussing at it. Blast it. Ugh. Fever? Sarah? And I swing my ass from the bed. Probably stumbling around a little bit, not being used to only having 3 legs.
When she says Seda like swats at the air and goes, "Bacon," and then rolls out and hits the floor.
And Tiva just groggily just moves her head. Ow.
Exactly, I agree. Oh.
I just go back. Can they give me whatever they gave me last night and I just go back to sleep? Maybe I'll wake up and this has all been a bad dream.
Believe me, it wasn't.
No, and they're gonna have a wildflower festival today. There's gonna be lots of food and parties and stuff.
Tiva looked over and say this. Do I look like I'm in any kind of condition to party? I can't even move my arms.
And I don't even have to tell her something. I just look at Seda.
She points over at you and says, "I think I have you a rolling cart crutch thing for your leg. I was up really late last night."
Oh, really?
Yes, I was helping out in the kitchen.
You made my crutch in the kitchen.
No, they helped with that. I'm going to go downstairs and try and finish putting it together, but I helped Jenny out in the kitchen last night, and that's how, and yes.
Mm.
While you guys were asleep, I tried to help out.
The Zan looks flustered a little bit. Oh, well, then, let's see what they have for food, shall we?
So Seda would get herself, kind of wash herself up a little bit since she didn't get the awesome bath that everybody else did. And then try and help the others come downstairs.
As all of you are getting up in the morning stuff, you can hear outside singing every now and then, kids playing stuff. If anybody looks out, you can see there's looks to be, several dozen people, tons of kids gathered around as they're putting these flowers in arrangements and building wreaths and decorating. A lot of the girls are wearing dresses just full of flowers and everything. Everybody's singing different little hymns and songs together, and looks like everybody's having a pretty good time. You can see that they all look quite poverty-driven. None of them really plump. They all look a little bit emancipated and tired and stuff, but they're giving it their best. As you step downstairs, you can see that the dining room is just filled with people. Some of them standing, eating off their plates, some sitting. People coming in and getting stuff to go as they walk back outside. Ginny and there's 3 other younger ladies and 2 males, all human, sitting behind the counter who are just rushing about getting food and scooping plates and handing out silverware, trying to get everybody fed as the best they can. Everybody looks pretty good, high spirits. As you come down, you'll see Sid over to the side, standing against the wall, a plate of food in his hand. He'll give each of you a bit of a smile. Beside him stands what could only be described as a furry, rat-like, squirrel-like humanoid. You can tell it's definitely a female. It has this large, bushy tail, brownish-colored fur, and it wears greenish, sort of like a forest green robe around it. Its ears perk up, and it has these tufts of fur off of each ear, and they sort of move a little bit in your direction. You see these large brown eyes look over at you as well. And she'll offer each one of you a smile, and she just kind of waves a little bit with her hand as you walk by. Jenny will hurry over, giving each of you this big plate of food that she sets down. Bacon and porridge, some sort of soup-like mixture, large glasses of orange juice and wines, all decorated with wildflowers. She'll give you a nice smile and thank you again, Seda, before rushing off in a hurry, trying to help everybody else out.
Thank you so much.
Tiva smiles, tries to smile, thank you, and then looks over at Seda.
Who she said the little mouse rat creature came over and waved.
As you come down the stairs, it stands next to Sid, but it does offer like a friendly wave, just a real shy one as you come down the steps.
I look amazed that there's like a rat type creature, and I wave back, and I immediately like.
You're not gonna do it, are you?
No,
Oh,
I was
God.
tap Tiva on the shoulder and go, look.
Okay.
But forgetting that Tiva's shoulders are been pulled from their sockets practically. She's like, tap, 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 look. And so when we get sat down, of course, the first thing I'm going to do is pick up a large piece of bacon and break it in half and stick a piece of it into Tiva's mouth so she can eat. I'm going to hand feed Tiva her first, and then I'm going to eat mine quickly.
As you again eat, and Sid will walk over this squirrel-like creature behind him and sets his plate down and has a seat. Beside him, you see this creature has her own plate of food, but just a bowl that looks like she's drinking out. Looks like some sort of soup or something. She doesn't say anything, just smiles. He'll sit down and sort of look over at you, Zan. Look at Tiva, see Seda hand feeding you. Why don't we take care of your arms, Tiva? You probably don't want to have the dwarf feeding you all the time, do you?
She looks over. That would be so nice. Seda is my best friend, but I don't really want to be a burden.
As I'm chewing, I mutter, that will hurt, Tiva.
Well, I'm already in pain, so it can't possibly get any worse, could it?
He'll slide his foot over and sort of lean forward and says, it's going to hurt like a bitch when I reset it, but it only lasts for a few minutes. It'll probably take a few days to get it up and working like you're used to, but you'll at least be able to move your arms and your fingers and feed yourself. You're going to need a few days to rest, though.
I immediately pull a cloth out because since I'm kind of like a fightery type, I know what's coming. So I'm going to pull like a cloth out of my bag, and I'm just going to immediately start twisting it into a roll. And I'm just going to kind of get up and slowly maneuver my way around behind her.
He'll sort of put a hand on your shoulder, saying, "Hey, we're not going to do it out here. We'll do it out back. We don't want to disturb all these people and their festivities."
Yeah, I would
awesome.
Scream in front of everybody.
He'll look over at you, Zan. What about your leg? I'm thinking you could probably use a new one, eh?
What do you mean, new one?
Well, and he'll sort of lead a hand over to this squirrel-like thing beside him. This is my daughter, Hilm. She's what some people call a medical surgeon. She will be able to take care of your leg for you. And it ain't going to work the same as it always did. And it'll be a bit stiff, but it'll be usable.
Well, Sid is a human, right?
Sid is, yes.
I very obviously look back and forth between them, comparing and thinking about how the hell this could have happened.
I jab Zan in the side with my finger, and I go, she probably just takes after her mother.
Yeah, I need a new mother. I need a new leg.
What about the bugs under her skin?
His
skin. What about the bugs under his skin? And I point at Zan.
He says, well,
that was my. I can't remember. Was that one my fault?
No.
That's a bit of a harder issue, Zan. You see, you have a few choices. You can burn them out. It hurts. You can cut them out. It hurts. Or you can take a few doses of poison and hope you survive. But let's take one thing at a time. You got weeks before those things start laying other eggs and hatching and begin to burst from your skin. So take one thing at a time, and we'll deal with those when it becomes an issue.
I almost squeeze out one of those scarabs from my leg, not noticing, of course.
It says they're bone scarabs. They'll crawl around, laying eggs in your muscles here and there. You'll feel the muscles start to stiffen up as they petrify, and these small little beetle-like larvae, they'll burrow into the bone, ended up, destroying most of the marrow in there, and you'll end up dying quite a slow, paralyzing, painful death. If we don't get them out, though, of course. But like I said, we'll worry about that when it comes. The first thing first, we need to take care of that leg.
I'm munching bacon the entire time he's talking about this gross stuff, and I'm just sitting there looking over. It's like, I am so glad that the bugs were not my fault.
I grab like a really high percentage schnapps or something from a tray from a passing by waitress. Well, and the alternative is
to the leg. Amputation. I mean, we could take the whole thing. As far as the bugs go, take your pick. Cut them out, burn them out, or take a bit of poison to kill them off. I'll let you think on that. I'm happy to supply whichever you prefer.
That's called surgery here. We're close to the plains of chaos, right?
They're a bit to the south, but yes.
Yeah.
My daughter is an amazing medic. She will take very fine care of all of you. I promise. And she'll sort of smile and nod as well. Her tail twitches a little. It's big, bushy. Her ears flick.
Zan looks a little bit green around the nose as he's thinking about his options, which aren't great. Yeah.
Let's just fix your leg.
But how? Burn? Or poke them all out? Or get rid of it altogether. That's...
Oh, he says, well, the bugs ain't going to bother your leg. He says, as far as the leg's concerned, my daughter she'll be able to fix it up the best. I'm sure you've seen some of those pirate folk and stuff with a bit of a peg leg. He says, it'll be quite similar. And he'll look over and he begins moving his hands in like a sign language to her. And she'll nod a few times and then she signs back. Says, she said it'll be perfectly fine, Zahn. Here's the procedure, if you would like it, of course. See, she's going to use one of her blades. She'll trim all of the flesh around the bone and peel it all away, leaving just the bone exposed. She'll repair the bits of bone, fuse the other pieces together. It won't be
my fist just bumps into the middle of the table. It's fine. It's totally fine. Oh.
Excellent. Yeah, I promise, you won't feel a thing.
No, not that fine. Not, no. That wasn't a yes. I mean, it was a yes, but not a yes. So, we will think about this.
I guess it's whatever you prefer, but it's gonna get infected quite soon, especially being out there. It looks a little bit putrid already.
What do you mean? How soon?
Well, it only takes a couple hours for the infection to set. Gangrene will run up through your system. Pretty soon you'll be twitching, and it won't be pretty, Zahn. I mean, gotta be honest with you, it's not good.
I'll look over to Chiva and Seda with eyes like plates. What does he... Is he saying? Like... No, he's not.
You're gonna have a fake leg, but they said it's gonna work just as good as your old leg.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear what they were saying? How they're doing that?
Well, I mean,
This humanoid squirrel thing will lay this soft little furry hand on your shoulders and give you a bit of a nod and this smile. And then she'll make a bit of a motion. And she says that you'll be perfectly fine, Zahn. You won't feel a thing. And it won't be pretty in the end, but it'll be usable and better than what you have now. It'll save your life. I mean, if you wish to pass on to the Nether, and then I completely understand, but...
And women like guys with scars.
You think so?
I mean...
Tina looks over at Seda.
Him will nod to an agreement.
There's a dwarf back in the Crystal Mist. He's got a wooden peg leg because mine shaft collapsed and broke his leg, and they cut his leg off, and they gave him one of these. He was kind of rich, so they gave him one that was made out of like this mithril stuff, and he shows it off all the time. It's got jewels on it and everything, and every time he tells a story about that mine shaft collapsing, and his story gets better and better every time he tells it. And all of the other lady dwarves are just like, "Woo!" So, yeah.
Well, maybe we can add some jewels later.
I can totally help with that.
Tiva just looks at her or looks at Zan and says, "Well, that could be true. At this point, you don't really have much of a choice. If you don't have that bad leg removed, it's going to kill you."
Yes. Or you can have it removed and you can tell all the other ram ladies that it was bit off by a dragon and all this, and then they'll just be like, wow. And then,
it's barrier. Barrier.
I don't want to borrow anything. I just want you to get your leg fixed.
Oh.
But you could say that it got borrowed by a dragon and then it bit off, and then the ladies will be all like, you think you're like amazing.
Well, I am, but
well, see, yeah. Yes, but now you'd be even more amazing because you could say I was my leg bit off by a dragon. How many guys do you know had that happen?
Tiva rolls her eyes and so modest.
Your dwarven friends are quite correct.
Well, he's not married. He doesn't have to be modest. I mean, I know how it works.
Let's do it then.
Yes.
This will be terrible.
Make a few signs towards him, and she nods. Puts another reassuring hand on your shoulder, Zahn, and then sets her a bowl of soup. You can see it looks like some sort of greenish colored porridge down on the table and heads off into a back room. Sid will step up and, Tiva, how about you first? We'll take you out back. We'll reset those arms and get you bandaged up the best. If all of you want to come out back, you're more than welcome. But we'll start with you, and then, well, Zahn, you're going to take a few hours at least. So,
well, we have nothing else to do. So Tiva would prefer not to go alone.
You mean to go get the things done?
Yeah, to get herself repaired.
Oh, no. I mean, Sada's going with both of you.
Oh, okay.
But I figured we knock it out this morning and then, so yeah.
So she stands up. She says, yes, let's go.
It will hurt.
Sid will, lead both of you, all three of you, into this sort of back room. Sada, you were probably out here the night before helping prep some stuff. So it's like sort of a kitchenish area, storage or whatever. But Jenny stands there and she has this long metal table that's been put in the center of the room. You'll see Himmel as she walks over, and he takes this folded cloth out of her vest and lays it on a table. All these glimmering syringes and small little blades and screws and knives, these surgical tools that she lays out, meticulously checking each one. Some of them she'll burn under a flame, but she actually just holds her hands out and see this flame pop up, sterilizing each one as she lays them out. Sid will reach over Tiva and offer to help you up onto the table. Says, "Hey, we'll do you first. Probably want to bite on that rope there your dwarven friend has."
I'll pick her up and set her on the table, and then I'll hold on to the rope for her to bite onto. I hold her head steady while they do it.
He says, "This is how we're going to do it, Tiva." He says, Himmel will grab the other arm, and I'll use this one. A bit of a yank and a twist, and we should be able to reset your shoulder. It'll hurt very badly, but it should set it back in place. Then we will bandage it up. If all goes well, you should at least be able to use them lightly. It'll be sore for a few days, but it doesn't look like anything is truly shattered, just heavily dislocated. Are you ready?
She nods. Yes, I'm ready.
Sada lean down and kiss her on the forehead one time since she's holding her head down with the rope across her mouth. She'll lean down and kiss her on the forehead right before and just tell her it's going to be okay.
With
other warriors.
With that, Himmel will put this nice, soft, furry hand on one shoulder, Tiva, and she sort of hugs you a little bit, holding your other arm close to your side. As Sid grabs at your other one, pulls it all the way out. Give me a Constitution check.
My Constitution.
You got to get under it.
I got a 16.
Under
12.
So not under.
You failed. Okay.
Yeah.
So
you're going to pass out probably.
Waits for you to get all set, Tiva, and then just gives your arm a yank. You can hear the bones creak. Sada's you're right there. They definitely snap in. Your elbow kind of goes awkward a little bit. Unable to quite get it. He looks at you again, and he puts his one hand on his chest and just gives your arm a second yank. Take 4 points of damage, but he resets your arm. Barely sort of hanging on to the edge of consciousness. You look at you, and that's one little halfling. Still got to do the other. Are you ready?
Yes!
Sada just looks over and says, just do it.
And with that,
serious look on her face.
You'll sort of trade places with him. He gives you the bit of this hug as this small squirrel-like woman grabs your other arm, and give me another con check.
Okay. I got a 9 under 12.
Okay. And with that, she will give it a yank as well. Only 1 point of damage this time. Not quite as bad. But you're right on the edge of passing out. Whether you do or not is up to you. But how does Tiva take this?
I take the rope out of her mouth as soon as it's done, by the way.
She starts gasping and just she wants to howl in pain, but she doesn't because she wants to appear strong in front of Seda after Seda was saying, many warriors have done this. And she wants to be strong like those warriors. So she's going, oh my God, this hurts.
Emma will quickly get to work binding both of your arms and sort of, not like in a cast, but like this heavy mud-like substance that she puts around your shoulders and under your arm. This sort of stiffens up the shoulder area and as well around your elbow. So you're not really able to move your arms a whole lot, but the pain definitely recedes quickly. And you're able to do basic tasks and use your fingers and feed yourself or something. It's almost like you have casts on both arms.
Mm-hmm.
He says it'll take about 2 days for everything to heal up the best that it can. It's always going to be a bit sore when it's cold and rainy and drizzly like it is. Probably may not always work the best for you, Tiva, but it's better than nothing. I hope this helps a little bit.
And she nods. It does. Thank you so much.
And then he'll look over at you, Zahn. Says, hi. What about you? You ready?
No.
Man, hop on
I
up
guess
on this
it can't
table.
be helped.
This small, frail-looking squirrel girl will come up to you, stand right in front of you, Zahn, and then she just reaches out to give you a hug.
Yeah, it's going to be fine.
And whether you fully let her or not, but she'll just embrace you in this warm, furry, squirrel-like hug and nod with these big brown eyes. She'll motion for you to get on the table and lays everything out. And then she'll hand you what looks to be a small flower in her hand, just a basic wildflower. She makes a few motions towards you. Said a point, says, go ahead and eat the flower. It'll knock you out for a little while, reduce the pains and swelling, and it slows your blood flow, so there won't be as much blood mess to clean up.
Zahn probably needs to push onto the table because he can't get up there. Like a butt shove from Seda. And he looks a little bit questioningly at that flower, but he starts chewing a little bit distrustful on it.
Tastes very, very sweet, almost like sugar, molasses, and it quickly turns to like this paste that sort of melts in your mouth. Not too bad tasting, really. Almost like a maple candy you might have had as a kid. And then you can feel the drowsiness hit you. Your eyes seem very, very heavy, and your body just gives out. And all of you watch as she passes out on the table. Hima will look over and make a few signs towards Tiva and Seda. She says, this is going to be messy. If you want to stay, you're more than welcome, but it's not the prettiest sight.
I look over.
Tiva agrees to stay.
Okay. So after looking to see Tiva says she'll stay, she says, we'll stay.
Very well. Yeah, I promise you can trust us. And my daughter, she's quite capable.
Oh, no, we trust you absolutely. And we are very thankful, too. More than
that, this squirrel-like girl starts and gets to work. The whole process takes a couple of hours as you both sit there. It is not the most best of sights by any means. Basically, you can see as Himmel goes through, she'll take out this large scalpel. She slices part of the hip area away all the way around this leg, digs her hands deep into the flesh there, and just pulls away the meat from the hip all the way down this foot or leg to the foot. The bones underneath are shattered up pretty bad, but she basically just reveals the entire bone area. The flesh and everything she set aside into this large bowl. She'll take this weird looking tool, sort of looks like an iron, and she heats it up in her hands, this little flame that appears, and smothers it all the way around the meat, cauterizing the wound. And she'll begin to rub this pinkish colored salve across it. And she'll make a few motions towards both of you. So it'll explain, she's basically cauterizing the wound, and that salve there will make the scar less obvious. The warrior's fur should grow back quite nicely. And it'll look like a bit of a stump. Not horrendous by any means. And with that, she'll begin to work on the bones. And then she goes down each section. She puts these small little pins in and rods and begins almost rebuilding the leg all the way down. The whole process takes a good 2 hours or so. When she's finally done, she'll step back and sort of look over everything. Then she steps forward once more, and her hands shine with this bluish colored light. And she'll run her hands all the way down Zan's leg. And as it passes over where some of these pins are and these bits of shrapnel and stuff, as her hands go across it, everything fuses back together. It looks almost like a brand new bones underneath, all the way down to the feet. And then she'll step back, give a bit of a nod, and begin cleaning all of her instruments up. Sid'll walk over, and he gives Zan like 3 quick raps on the cheek with his hand. And Zan, you'll wake up groggily. You're going to have your exposed bone. It's not a peg leg or anything she put in. She basically has flayed all the flesh off your leg and rebuilt the bone, but it's always going to be a bone leg, like a skeletal leg. It is going to give you -1 dexterity. A little bit stiffer to move, but you actually are going to gain a kick attack with a +1 bonus that does 2d6 damage.
Ooh.
And it's basically called bone steel. Your bones on that leg are as strong as steel.
Oh, that's badass.
Wow.
Can I get
How much damage?
2d6.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Dang.
-1 dex, and then +1 for that attack at 2d6. It has to be melee, and you have to turn to face that creature or whatever. But
We could put spiked iron bands on it and all kinds of shit.
You mean my butt has to face
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
That'll be the $6 million buck. If you,
We can rebuild him. We have the technology. Seda is completely amazed at the whole thing. But then she asks, while I'm sorry, the squirrel lady.
Himmel. Himl.
Okay, Himmel. While she's working, was the other guy just kind of watching?
Yeah, Sid will aid her in whatever she needs, and they talk back and forth with hand signals.
When it's obvious that that she's not disturbing him, Seda would like to ask him the flower that you gave her. Is there any way to maybe get 1 or 2 of those? Like, could I maybe buy some and put them in a small pack just in case? Like, if something happens later and we get injured really bad, we can use them.
Well, I don't have any left. They are called a peace lily. They
Easy.
grow in the north.
Okay.
I can, and he'll actually fish around in his pockets, and he brings out this little piece of paper that has a picture of it and all this information on what it is. It says, if you ever pass through the north, you can keep an eye for it. It's not something quite easily gets, and normally we try not to use them, but your friend here was in quite a dire need. I don't believe this could have went well with her awake, or him awake.
Oh, no. Nope. So
That is your best bet, perhaps. The Norns are quite fond of the flower, and most apothecaries to the north will carry it as well. So if you ever pass through, they should be able to help.
Does he offer to give her the paper, or does he just show it to her?
No, he'll give it to you.
Oh, okay. Well, she'll take the paper and say thank you very, very much.
It's a bit of a rare flower, a little more expensive, but if you keep your eyes peeled, there's a chance you might find one while traveling through, assuming you're headed that way. I'm just offering it up.
And then after that, she's going to ask if she owes. She's like, "Do we owe you anything for all of this? Because you helped my friend so much."
Oh no, that is my job as a priest of Inan.
So she would pull out like 30 silver, and she says, "Okay, well, if it's your job, do you have a church here?" Or
No, unfortunately.
or something.
No. And he'll sort of break off the conversation when you mention anything like that. And again, if his medallion might have fell out again, he puts it back underneath his vest. Don't worry about it. It's nothing. It's nothing.
And I can make a donation to your church.
So no, that would not work well.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Well, thank you anyway.
Yes, thank you.
What do you think of your new legs on? It's
Well, it's different, I guess.
But you could maybe wrap it in some furs and pretend that it's still there, right?
Could be the new fashion for sigil. Yeah.
Put gold bands and decorate it like a piece of armor.
I'm sure you'll get all the lady warriors then.
He doesn't look too convinced.
You know, take a seat off to the side as Himmel's gathering all of her stuff up and cleaning it. So, I don't believe we fully caught up. Says, why are the lot of you here? He says, I understand you had your bit of travels and had a bit of hardships, if we could say, but seems a bit weird to see the lot of you here, and I believe Seda mentioned that weren't even supposed to be here.
Yeah, believe us, we if we could have chosen, we would have chosen this. No offense, but it's a little bit dangerous outside of your city halls, to say the least.
It's a volatile land. And the flayers and eye tyrants stay to themselves. Every now and then we'll come through. Sometimes
we met both.
Well, at least you didn't meet the demons and such. They tend to pour through now and then as well.
Oh, so we're lucky.
But the town itself is safe. They don't bother us very often. Maybe once a couple of decades here and there, they'll come raging through. But that is what they got, like people like me for. I've made this my life mission to help this town.
You should really think about setting up a little chapel, maybe, if not a temple.
Well, it's not that easy.
Why not?
It's difficult.
Is this like sigil, where you're not supposed to go to sigil when you're a god? Something similar?
Oh, no. There's actually some other churches here in town. You could say I've fallen out of favor with Ina. I'm unsure exactly what it is happened.
You lost your powers?
It's the best way to describe it. You can see he looks absolutely distraught, and I went to bed one evening. I prayed like normal. I did my duties, and I woke up, and it was as if all connection was gone. I didn't hear her voice in my head. My magics. I prayed, and I seem to have lost everything. Only thing I could think is I've lost favor, and that's why I'm here helping all the people that I can and doing what I can to regain my place. I can't take your donations and your monies or anything. I just hope that Inan will find favor in me once again, in hopes that I can spread my beliefs and my aid to everybody.
My face turns slowly over to Tiva and Seda.
And Seda looks at you in a surprising look of understanding.
And I lift my hand and I count down 8 now, I think.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. There was
yeah. And I look back at Sid and I say, do you have a moment, Sid? I think we have something to share, but we might need something strong in spirits, if you know what I mean. And I scratch my new leg.
I ain't got much to do until the festival in a few hours. Perhaps I can help with whatever you might need.
No, we don't need anything right now. We have to share something with you, I believe. Arna, am I right? And I'll look down at the other two.
I think it would be best
especially after helping us like this, which isn't common, especially not from where I stem from. I think you should know something.
Well, Matissa, what do you mean?
Well, and we are in the side room, right?
Yep.
And I stick out my head for a moment out of the door. Jenny? Ginny?
Ginny, yep.
Ginny, I'll pay for it, but we need like a huge, and I hold my hands out like really far, a huge bottle of something strong. Even if it tastes like fish.
Aye, fish meat it is. She'll hurry up and grab a large bottle and run in, sort of set it on the table. She says, we got lots of people out there, and it's getting busier and busier. Seda, I might need your help cooking up some more bacon, and things are just going great. But I'll be right back. She'll quickly run back out the door.
You can go help her if you want. I will inform Sid about the thing.
Seda really hates when this story gets told, so she's gonna go and help out. She's like, "Yep, I'm gonna go help."
Outside, Ginny will quickly just set you to work, basically serving tables the best that you can, and bringing drinks and scooping spoons and anything you could possibly do in the kitchen that she can get you to do.
And so I set my butt onto the floor, and I look again at Tiva, and I take a deep breath after emptying that bottle a good bit. And I start with, so we were standing in an alleyway, and through a not open window, mind you, fell some people. And those were blah, blah, blah. And I end with, and finally, we reach your town. And I tell him everything about those gods, and that some of them have very apparently been killed or extinguished or whatever. And in the end, I will actually count out the 30 silver Seda counted out, and I hold it out for him. I think you deserve this, and you haven't fallen out of grace.
When you mention the gods dying, or potentially one of his as well, this man will just completely break down. You can see it was something you probably should have done, or told him stuff, but it just completely destroys his entire life. He's devoted to this. By the end, though, he still sobs a little bit, but he'll.
Tiva reaches best as she can and places a hand on him. I'm so sorry.
Him will walk over as well and sort of embraces this guy in a hug. He just motions for you to set the coins on the table and stays silent for a good several minutes. It makes a bit of sense. This is, the patron doves of Crux, the high priests, even they have spoken of losing some of their powers, and it was said that all of the proxies, 3 of them across the Outlands, were butchered as if blown to bits by magic. Perhaps that's what happened to those flayers as well when their god died.
The one that we saw, Butterspoon, that's pretty much what happened to her. But she did not go willingly. She did fight very valiantly before it happened.
This is what kind of thing could destroy a god?
We've yet to answer those questions ourselves, and we've stayed up many late nights trying to figure out why. Me and my friends, it was a dark figure, and we don't know. We don't have all the answers yet, but we hope we will someday.
And I think they are after us. When we fled the loony bin and on Mechanus, we were followed by some shadow assassins, maybe. And they looked similar, right? They must be part of this. And I really, and I hold out my index finger, I really don't know why we are stuck in the middle of it. The whole lot of us.
He'll look over at you, Tifa, and says, did you tell him about what happened at the inn?
Yeah, I would have told it like he always does, like almost like the two of them killed Butterspoon, but of course it's not the case, and we probably would have got this from the story as well.
Yeah.
So he'll look over at Tifa and says, that drow that you spoke with, she called you the sisters too. Says there's an old tale. It's been around for centuries, longer than I would have any collection of, about two sisters. He'll sort of look at you from up. He says, and I don't mean to judge. I mean, my own daughter is a Ratatosk. But are you sisters?
Not by blood, but we are friend. Well, I guess you could say it's a sisterhood of friendship. We met and just took a liking to each other, and we became best friends. And sometimes, I feel like you don't necessarily have to be blood related to be family.
Aye, it's very true, Heflin, very true. And he'll give a sort of endearing look at the younger squirrel girl thing. Says, anyway, there was a tale about sisters too, battling a shadow beast. Unfortunately, it's been a long time since I've found it or read it. You might be able to find it at one of the larger libraries or somebody. I wish I could tell more, but there is indeed a tale of sisters too. Perhaps it might give you a bit of information or something to work off of. But regardless, for a drow to interject themselves to save you is frightening at best.
I wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't even a drow. Maybe in disguise. Everyone is fooling around with us. That's not fun. Maybe we can check the library in Sigil, Tiva.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yes, and speaking of, I know you helped us a lot and we can't ask for more, but maybe you know of someone who could point us into the direction of a portal to Sigil, or maybe on the right way. We are completely lost, and to be honest, I don't want to trail off further into onto the plains of chaos. We're not doing too well here.
Am I back in the room yet, by the way?
Sure, if you want to be. Probably covered in food and eating some bacon.
Well, I wanted to, when I came back, I was going to make the comment that when you talked about the drow, that she would say, well, if they're like the drow back in my home, they have a god too. And so maybe the drow tried to save us because they're trying to save their own god. Or help us.
Loth?
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't be a great loss, to be honest, but...
No, but the enemy of my enemy kind of a thing?
Maybe.
The dwarves make sense. I don't know if my best choice in sidekicks would be the drow, but... It
certainly wasn't our choice.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Indeed. As for the portal, I wish I knew more. I will ask around and maybe see what I can find, but the closest thing I could think of would be to head north to the Norns. Yggdrasil has portals all across the plains and many to Sigil. That would be your best bet. It is a safer route, and you can exit the Chaos lands to the south. The north is, from here on out, it's a dangerous place, but much safer than the plains below. I'll ask around and see, but if nothing else, Yggdrasil would be your next best bet.
Yggdrasil. Well then. And before he leaves us, Zan would walk up to him and talk very quietly and say, "It's not the god or your faith that makes you a good man. I hope you accept our little donation because you can spread the good without serving a god." And he looks a little bit back, ashamed. The others seeing him that emotional.
Seda would add on to that you never did lose your you didn't lose favor with your God. You kept the faith, and now given what's happened, your God actually they made the decision to keep serving, even though you thought your powers were gone. Which means, like Zan said, you're the one, you kept the faith, and so now the spirit of your God lives on in you. So you didn't lose your faith. You kept it when it wasn't there. So it shows what kind of a person you really are.
Very intelligent for a dwarf, Seda. Very intelligent. Indeed, I will use these donations to help as I can, and I give you my warmest thanks. I will see if I can aid you in finding a way home. I can't offer any promises, but if nothing else, moving north to Yggdrasil will at least put you in the right direction. I wish I could offer more.
This is more than we hoped for.
That he'll take these coins and drop them into a bit of a pouch. You can see Himmel's gathered up all of her stuff and pushed it back inside her pouch. She's cleaned off her hands and everything. She just sort of stands off to the side, her head staring down at the floor in silence. He'll turn and give her a clasp on the shoulder as he leads out from the room. Says, "I'll be in touch with a lot of you as soon as I can, but at least enjoy the festivities in the meantime."
We'll try. Thank you.
As he mentions a while back losing his faith or powers, whatever you want to say, he mentions that it did happen roughly 3 months prior.
Oh, that must have been one of the first then.
Yeah, that's what you kind of get the sense of.
How many have, out of character, how many have died so far?
I think we know of 8 now, right?
Yeah, Zephyr's medallion says 8, and the Mind Flayer one, Butterspoon. I'll let you guys kind of fill in. They're the 2 that you know for sure, and probably this one, which is a non.
Okay. But 8
it does show 8, yep.
Okay. All right.
Dang.
Sweet. Okay. All right. Well, in that case, Seda's going to go ahead and just shake the man's hand and then head on back downstairs to. I'm assuming it's probably well into the early afternoon now.
Yeah. Around noonish, you can see that everybody's getting ready outside. A lot of people starting to pour out of this tavern, plates and stuff, and it's like scattered everywhere from the chaos and breakfast and going on. But everybody's gathered outside, getting ready to sort of enjoy the parade that's coming through and stuff.
So I guess Seda would go down and try and just catch a glimpse of what's happening.
I follow, but first I give Himmel an awkward hug. And then leaves as well. Do I make now weird clopping sounds?
I imagine one is a little, yeah.
Clop, 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 clop.
Probably still have your hoof on there.
Yeah, but
there's not much weight behind us. It's more like a tap dance sort of tap.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Yeah, so you always know who's behind you.
So yeah, as you guys head downstairs or off, it's always just in the side room. So back out into the main room and stuff, you can see people are outside. Let's take a quick break there, and then we'll continue the second half.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I will look
Be right
for
back.
schnapps without fish.
Yes. All right. See y'all in a bit.
Back. Are all the gods that of whom we know that they are dead, are all of those lesser gods?
Well, I don't know. Who do you know who's dead?
Inan, Butterspoon.
Yeah, I've got Anon, Butterspoon. I just have Illithid God because I don't think we know his name.
I think I have his name here.
It's something. Really,
Maliar.
yeah, a difficult one to spell. Yeah, but yeah.
And
The only three I have.
Yeah, where's the other one? Who are the other ones?
Well, we don't know all of them yet.
No, we only know that there must be more from that pendant thing.
The only other one that might come up is when Zephyr laid to rest his patron for his guild. He mentioned that his thing clicked. That was the same time that all of the Modrons, when you guys were outside, collapsed and sort of started acting weird and rebooting.
Oh, right.
Okay, so possibly the Modron one.
Yeah.
Which his name is Prime.
To make sure I understood it properly, the medallion has 8. That means 8 are dead or 8 are left.
It counts up, so 8 are presumably dead, is what it's.
Okay.
They're figuring it's counting.
And I would assume, because the gods are gods of minorities, at least those we know of, that those are lesser gods.
All of the ones mentioned, are presumed to be lesser gods. Prime would be, if anything, the most powerful, being that he's sort of the ruler of the Mechanist, the realm, and stuff like that.
But is he still a lesser one?
He kind of falls in between.
Okay.
He's not a major player of the gods or anything. He has his own realm, and it doesn't really branch outside of that, except for some of the Outlands, and really he's only followed by the Modrons and a few followers. So he's
because
powerful,
that was
but not.
I mean, every god is powerful in his sense. So my thought was that maybe who or whatever is killing the gods, that they maybe start low and work their way up. But yeah, we still don't know who the others are, so there might be a greater or medium god.
All of those ones that you mentioned would consider technically by Raw are minor, lesser gods.
Yeah. Huh. Dang.
And I was trying to find a picture of a Ratatosk, but there is nothing unless you want really weird horn-like furry images. So basically a squirrel, female squirrel, humanoid is what they look like. Let's close that out of there. So there's definitely some furry fetishes on the internet.
Oh, yes.
Indeed.
Don't look up squirrel furries because you won't like what you get.
Oh, man.
What has been seen cannot be
No, it can't. There are people who love cars in a very sick way.
That's true. All right. So as you all exit out of this back room, Sid is in front of you, followed by Himmel, and then all three of you come out behind him. As he gets out to the doorway that leads out from the Happy Griffin into the streets, you can see there's a good handful of people right out front, and you can hear them all screaming and yelling. In the distance, you can hear music playing and stuff. As you get a little bit closer, though, you realize that these people don't look like they're actually celebrating. They look like they're starting a fight or something is going on outside of this building. All in all, you see maybe a dozen or so people circled around and fighting and arguing with one another over whatever is in the center of this group of people. And Sid will open up the door and sort of stand to the side and watch, trying to figure out what's going on.
Right in front of our building.
Yep, right in front of the Happy Griffin, right in the middle of the street. And more people in different directions are, sort of looking over in concern and starting to make their way to see what exactly is going on. Maybe Zahn is you're coming up behind. You'll see further down the street, a good couple 100 yards or so, 3 guards that are running down the street in a hurry towards in this direction. Right in front of you, you'll see an older man, a dwarf, probably an upper-aged one, quite well built, and you can see he's spent a life of probably mining and stuff, pretty well built. But he has a dagger in a hand, and he just jumps into this fray, and you hear a woman scream, and then she hits the ground, blood coming across her chest. She doesn't look like she's gravely injured, but and everything just erupts into chaos in front of you guys over whatever's in the middle of this horde of people.
Can we somehow figure out who's the shitbag here? What?
As you look and Tiva and CD comes on, it looks like it's almost like a free-for-all. As people are fighting against one another, and it doesn't, even two people that are back-to-back one moment will turn on each other and start fighting. It just looks like a complete riot of, there's like about a dozen people.
This is like in the, during the middle of the parade, or?
The parade is further down the street, but yes, you can see the parade is getting ready to start, and there's music and other people further, a couple hundred yards down the street.
Oh, man.
But more and more people are noticing this and sort of like look concerned and starting to run up. Siddle's kind of stayed to the back. He says, I might be able to heal and help people, but I ain't much one for a fight. I can't jump into the... And he'll kind of grab somebody and try to hold them back, but you can see he's not that type.
I shout over to him, do you see someone who's generally always starting a fight in there?
No, it's quite a peaceful town for the most part, besides a few bar brawls and such things. This is unheard of.
So Seda would shout at Tiva in particular, since she's still got both her arms in slings, to step back. And then I'd walk over to the nearest two people that are in a scuffle. And if I could, I would try to reach up and just grab them by the backs of their heads, both of them, and just knock their heads together to try and like separate them, just bonk, and then get them out of the way. And so I want to give you like the list of what I'm going to do. I'm trying to bonk their heads together, like in front of everybody, and like push them to the ground. And then I'm going to shout to everybody to knock it off.
Yeah, you grab these two people, maybe younger teenage type kids that are fighting. You see they smash their heads and quickly fall back. One's bleeding a little bit, and the other one will look towards you. His fist balled up, and you can see it looks like he has like a bit of metal or a stick or something in his hands, so his punch is harder, and he just comes right at you. Go ahead and roll me initiative.
Sweet.
As he does that, I run... Oops. I'm already on my way over. Oh, we all only roll one, right? And I say, jump up!
It's a 5. Or you roll D6, right?
Yep.
So I got a 5.
All right.
Oh, do we all roll, or do
if
we...
you want to get in, well, do this round first, and then if anybody wants to jump in, you can.
Okay.
Because he kind of stepped out aside from you guys.
Yep.
So you knock these heads together. The one kid will fall back to the side, his head split a little bit, and he sort of shakes his head and he's holding it on the ground. The other one looks over. He has blood just coming down the side of his face, but he just rushes right at you, Seda, and he got a 7, so he is up first.
Oh, shit. I forgot about the bonus. Hold on. I don't think I have one, though. Where's my initiative bonus?
Be Dex.
I do not have an initiative bonus. Damn it. I was hoping to go first so I could do the... I was going to pull my giant axe and put my finger up and go,
Nope, he just runs right at you, and I got a 19 total. I think is a hit.
Dang.
Only 1 point of damage, though, as he slugs you across the jaw. And he sort of... You can feel the punch behind it is definitely he has something in his hands, a roll of coins or a stick or something heavy. And he just slugs you in the jaw and then rushes forward trying to get you into a bear hug.
That's going to go really bad for you, kid.
Right beside you, Tifa, as you look at some of this crowd that's up ahead, you see a woman grab a hold of a guy and just throw him to the side. He'll hit the dirt beside your feet. His lip is split open a little bit, but he jumps right up and just charges right at her and starts to pound on her.
Dang.
And that would put Seda up.
Okay. So I'm going to snatch my battle axe, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to, like, flex my arms, and I'm going to, as this guy, like, reach up and hit me, I'm just going to go, like, I'm going to pull the axe out, and I'm going to be, and just be like, really? And I'm going to turn the axe head sideways, and I'm just going to bring it down and whack him right on the top of the head with, like, the flat part of the axe blade, and just try and just put him, basically subdue. But
knock his ass out.
Right out.
All right. His armor is only a 14.
All right. So I have a attack bonus in melee.
13, sorry.
Plus 6. So I got a 15.
You don't even have to roll damage because, yeah, as soon as you crack this kid across the skull, he's by far not a fighter at any means. Just quickly crack him across the skull, and he'll crumple, knocked out cold on the ground. Off to the side, that other kid that you knocked heads with pulls himself up, and he just jumps right back into the fray as well, swinging. And if anybody wants to jump into initiative or do anything, we're kind of out of initiative at the moment. So
Yes, please.
What do you guys do?
Well, Seda would just kind of look over at the other two and be like, I think something's wrong with these people.
Very much. And I charge Seda. That would be my next step. And so my plan is, which I would communicate into as few words as possible. Get up on my back, stand, and knock them all out with the flat side of your axe,
So basically,
while I mow through the crowd.
so as soon as you say "get up on my back,"
That's it.
she is happily like scrambling to get up on your back. She hears the rest of it, but she doesn't even have to be finished being told the first time. So what I do is I scramble up on your back and I stand, and I'm gonna put one hand like on I don't know what that muscle is called, but it's the one right on your shoulder where it connects to your neck.
Yeah.
So that I don't I'm trying to do it in such a way that I don't impede you.
Strangle me.
Yeah. So I'm gonna grab your shoulder right there, and it's pretty tight grip, and I pull the battle axe out with one hand, and as you charge into the crowd, I'm gonna let out this ridiculous dwarven war cry bellow of just
Oh my god.
try and scare everybody into scattering.
As you pull yourself up, you definitely see about a dozen people that are all around. It looks like there's something, sort of like a donut of people that they're fighting over in the center of all these people. Some were jumping in, some are getting thrown out of the crowd, and every people just trying to fight over whatever this is on. You charge into this crowd. Off to the side, Tiva, as you're watching what's going on here, you'll see a guy sort of over to the side. He's kind of up on a balcony. He's sort of watching this, and he looking over all this, and his eyes sort of flick over to where Seda and Zan are running into this crowd. And then they look down at you, and he'll come down these steps sort of slowly as he's walking towards you, and then he just breaks off into a run. So everybody give me an initiative. You can keep yours right where it's at, Seda.
D6?
Yeah, D6 plus your initiative bonus.
3.
Really high. So you get a +4 on your initiative. So roll your D6 +4.
And she can't even grab him. That's so terrible.
Yeah, because I mean, how workable are my arms right now? Because I would need a few days.
Do the scissors with your leg.
You're gonna have to be the feet of fury.
So I get on the ground and just start bicycle kicking.
Yeah. She got Tiva got a 7.
All right.
Or you can just run away. He's probably never catch you.
Tiva, you were up first then as this guy's running towards you. This look of just complete anger across his face. It says, "They're mine!" And he just rushes at you with a balled up fist.
And she's thinking, what's his? I don't have anything, do I? And then she's thinking, did I steal anything from him? No, I don't remember taking anything. Oh, how could I possibly take anything from him? I don't have any arms at work right now. So she's she's looking over at him, and as he's barreling. Wait, am I standing by a wall or in front of a wall?
Yeah, you'd be like against the buildings. Yeah.
Okay, so what she's going to do is she's going to sit there and wait. And then right as he's almost at her, she's going to dart out of the way. So he smacks himself against the wall.
Should totally dive between his legs.
All right. I'll have him make a dex check for that then.
Okay.
The crowd is up. So,
And I got a 6 under 18.
I completely botched and got a 19. So, yeah, totally describe what you do as you get out of the way.
So she's watching just patiently. Everything's kind of in slow motion. Dun, 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 you know, for all of y'all who don't know or who
Yes.
are listening. I dated myself. Anyway, so she's watching as he's, in her mind, slowly coming towards her. And then just as his face is right in front of her and she can almost smell his rank ass breath, she quickly darts out of the way, and then he just barrels into the wall and goes, oof.
Yeah, he'll smash into that face first. You see him stumble back and just hit the ground. His nose shattered, his just blood pouring down his face. He'll sort of wipe it off the best he can as he gets ready to pick himself back up. The crowd is technically up, and they're just going to swarm over you as you run into their Zan. I'm going to say 1d6. I got a 4.
May have been a bad idea.
What is your your armor class, Zan?
With she 15, sorry.
All right. So yeah, just 4 people just pile on you and start pounding on you. Natural 20 and a 15.
Oh dang! Wow.
3 and a 7. So only 2 hit with that. They only hit before, so you're gonna have. So 4 of these guys just jump on you. 2 women, 2 males, a couple of dwarfs, and some human, kind of mixed in between. Most of them are just punching at you, but you see a dwarf run up who has this pickaxe in his hands, and he just clobbers you across the jaw with a butt haft of this thing, and then kind of raises it up and brings it down on your foot. It's going to be 6 points of damage, Zan.
Oh, shitters.
And then a couple more start climbing up your backside and pull themselves up, trying to grab a hold at Seda. But that puts Seda up.
All right. I'm going after the dwarf with the pickaxe. So you only get 1 attack, right?
Yeah.
Right. So going after the dwarf with the pickaxe, I got a with my attack bonus 17.
Yep, that'll hit.
And
Are you doing lethal or non-lethal?
I think we're going to stick with non-lethal for the moment.
All right.
So non-lethal damage is going to be 14.
Nice. Yeah, you club him across the side with the flat part of your axe, and you just see his body fall to the side and just crumple. Inside, as you're standing up on top of Zan, you can just hear this girl screaming for help. As you kind of see these swarm of people converge on right in the center of this thing. You can also hear the crying of what sounds to be another person, more male sounding. Say
Can
that.
I see where the woman is?
You can actually. Well, give me a save versus magic.
Okay.
Oh god.
No. Was it planar magic?
No, it is not.
Okay. Save versus magic. My saving spells are awesome. I don't know what you're talking about. I just got to find spell-like effects, right?
Yes.
I got to beat a 7. I got a 14 over a 7.
All right. Look over. Yep, it looks. There is a girl and a boy, both maybe early 20s, holding on to each other in the center crowd of this people, as people look to be trying to get to them, or I don't know. It looks like they're the target of all these people, and they're just fighting against one another, trying to either protect or get to or something with these two that are holding on to each other in the center of this people.
All right. So I know what I'm gonna do my next round. How far away are they?
Probably about 10 feet or so.
Okay, cool.
Not very far. It's just a crowd of people that's around is all. But they're right in the center of it. Zan, you are up then.
Yeah, I hear that too, right?
Yeah, if you want to make a save versus magic as well. Cause
No, I don't.
I imagine you would probably look at the screaming just out of...
14. My save is 14 and I rolled a 14.
So
I made it, right?
Yep. So as
Okay,
you kind of
cool.
peer across, you see the same thing, just these two humans, younger humans, holding on to each other who seem to be getting attacked and protected by this group of people. So yeah, what do you do?
Do we storm the donut?
Yes.
Donut.
Mm. And I try to charge right into the middle of it. And when we arrive there, I don't know, can I still do an attack after shoving through the people?
Yeah, it's not too far, so I think so, yeah.
So I just run in there and without even moving anymore, I just do my kick.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Just against a random person that's in the way, kind of thing.
Yeah.
All
I mean,
right.
they're all opponents here, so. That's probably. Oh, my fighter bonus. Okay, so 16.
Totally. Yeah. Are
2d6.
you going lethal or
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Oh, not bad. 9.
Nice. Yeah, you see one of her skeletal leg kind of kick out, clocking this younger girl across the face, and she'll crumple. The other one goes off to the side, hitting a older gentleman who also falls to the side, holding his head, kind of shakes it, trying to clear the fogginess. Like with that, you'll see a whole bunch of faces sort of turning in your direction, Zahn, as people get quite annoyed and they start yelling, "They're mine!" That puts Tiva up.
Okay, so that guy that slammed against the wall, is he on the ground right now?
Yep, he's picking himself back up, but yes, he is.
Before he gets an opportunity to pick himself back up, she's gonna kick him in the face with her boot and say, "Stay down."
Nice. Give me an attack.
Stomp it right in the face.
I got a 3 under 8.
Oh, no.
You failed.
Oh, did I?
You got to go high on that roll to save.
God dang it!
Yeah, that's a total fail. He'll sort of swing his head to the side as your foot whisks past, and that puts them up. You see his sort of dodge, and he reaches out and tries to grab a hold of your leg. What is your... I'm just going to say your Dex mod plus 12.
Our Dex mod is +4.
So 16, okay. Because you don't... Armor doesn't really help in this case. So yeah, he'll reach out just as your leg kind of kicks past. He grabs a hold of your boot and just sort of swings you around, smashing you into the side of this building, Tiva. I imagine you don't weigh very much, so 8 points of damage as he just grabs your leg and slams you against this wall.
You should
Over to the side, you can see Sid look over, his eyes widen as he just rushes towards this guy to try and get him to stop beating on you. He'll stand up above you. This guy does, Tiva, like he's getting ready to bear down onto you. And you'll see Sid in the back come up behind him and just clock him across the back of the head. Looks to be a chair leg or some piece of wood.
Nice.
The crowd.
Justice.
2. You already have the 4 on you, Zahn, as they're charging around. 2 more seem to look over. I'm going to do 3 on Sid or Seda.
Bring it.
Miss, hit, and total miss. So 1 just slugs you across the jaw again for 1 point of damage, and then Zahn. hit, miss. So another one you can see starts to clamber up on your back, Zahn, and you feel the sharp pain. If you look back, you can see he has a dagger in his hand. He sort of just shoved it into your haunches to help pull himself up onto it. It's going to be 3 points of damage that he takes on.
Damn it, those humans.
And down the street, you can see these 3 guards that were running, enter the fray, and they all look around trying to see what's going on. They'll grab a few people and throw them off to the side, but they'll start making their way in, and they look over to where you're at, Zahn. Say to look at you for a moment, and then they look over at these 2 young couple that are holding on to one another out of panic. And this weird glaze sort of washes over their face. And then you see the 2 guards. One of them pulls out a sword. The other one pulls out what looks to be almost like a long baton, but it just crackles with electricity. And they start pounding on one another. This other 3rd guard steps off to the side, like a complete panic across his face before these other people swarm over top of him. Beside you, these 2 people just scream for help. Seda, you are up.
So as she gets in there, I'm going to look at the nearest person who's threatening the 2 people, and I'm gonna let go of Zahn's shoulder, and I'm just gonna leap, like do a Macho Man Randy Savage off the top rope, right off the back, and as I'm gonna come in the air holding my axe up, and she's gonna jump in the air and go, "Oh yeah!" and then come down and just be like, "Blam!" and just drop the haft of her battle axe right on the guy's head, and basically just kind of just try to bowl right into him and knock these people away from the 2 people who are crying out.
Sweet. Give me that attack. Give yourself an additional +1 too, so you have a jumping advantage.
All right. So, oh boy, that would make a 26.
Yeah, you completely. I'm assuming it's still like subdual damage.
Yeah, I'm not
All
trying
right.
to kill anyone yet.
Okay, so yeah, you could just completely. I'll say you hit a couple people. They all just fall in this crumple as you crack one across the head with the flat of your axe and shove the butt of the weapon into the throat of another one. They spill off to the side. It seems like it's starting to thin out a little bit, but all around you can see more and more people are noticing what's going on. They're starting to gather around, watching, trying to figure out what is exactly happening here. Zahn, you are up.
How many people on the thinnest part of the crowd are blocking our way? So how many rows of people, basically?
Let's see, you've taken out 6 and 3 entered, so there's 9. Well, 9, and he just took out 3. So there's only about 7 people around you still left. One of them is climbing up on your haunches with a dagger in your ass, but otherwise, I mean, it wouldn't be hard to plow through these people. It's just a couple,
Yeah.
spread out.
Okay, so in that case, I would grab the guy's arm and just scream in his face, "Take her and get up!"
He'll look at you in a panic and just nod, holding on to this girl. Do you want him to hold on to you, or?
Yeah, so like they I want them to just jump on my back and I charge out of the donut.
All right, where are you headed?
I don't care. Away.
All right.
If possible, not into the parade, maybe.
Opposite type direction? All right. Yeah, you're able to burst through. Give me a strength check.
Okay.
Against these, +3. Or minus 3, because you want to be under.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I made it by 10 then.
Okay, next. Yeah, they pull through, blow through these people. They hold on to the back end. You can see them as they start to burst this crowd. Tiva, give me a save versus magic, Tiva.
Wait, to me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were talking to Zan.
No. So look at there. It says save versus spell effects.
14.
So now you need to roll over this.
I need to roll over a 14?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like 5.
You got a 5.
You got a 5. So as you see Zahn break free, these 2 people on top of his back, Sada's still in the crowd fighting and stuff. This whole crowd of people sort of just look in your direction, Zahn, and almost just stop what they're doing for a second before they start to give chase. Even the ones that are next to you, Sada and stuff like that, they had their interest in you at the moment, but as soon as these 2 are gone from the crowd, they just all turn and they start to chase after Zahn. Tiva, you see these 2 young people upon Zahn's back. Human, younger couple. They look sort of similar. You kind of get the sense that they're siblings of some sort. But you have the utmost desire to own them. You just want to have them for yourself, and you're compelled to do whatever you can to get them.
Oh, good.
And that puts Tiva up.
So she's going to have this overwhelming sense of, I must have them. They're mine. So she yells out, "They're mine!" And then she gets up, and then she starts running after Zan. Says, "They're mine, Zan. They're mine."
The crowd is just going.
Halfling coming at you, Zan.
Yeah, the crowd just follows you, Zan. The guy on your haunches, you can end up being able to kind of push off as you take off, but he picks himself up and just takes off running as well. Behind you, Tiva, you can feel somebody grab a hold of your arm. You see that it's Sid. He's looks like he's checking to see if you're okay or whatever. But he's definitely trying to hold you back. What do you do?
She tries to jerk herself away, but granted, it's painful. What are you doing? Let go of me. They're mine. I have to get to them.
Give me an opposed, either strength or dexterity, your choice. And it would be under it, and you want to beat 7. He had a success value of 7 or whatever.
Okay, well, I got a 2.
Yeah, you did it.
Oh, yeah, totally. So you're able to pull free and take off running. He'll sort of look at you in confusion and run behind you as well. As he looks up and sees Zahn, his steps slow a little bit, and he'll look around, and then he too just takes off after you, Zahn. Himmel off to the side watches. She takes off after Sid trying to stop him, looks like. Seda, as you pull yourself up and look around, you can see this crowd of people just rushing after Zahn, who has these two people on his back.
So immediately, the crowd pretty much dispersed from around me.
Mm-hmm. Just taking off in chase of Zahn.
She's gonna stand up and be like, "That asshole left me," and then she's like, "Geez, you can't not get a proper fight anywhere here." And then it's the first thing she's gonna do, seeing that Zan is like basically running on all fours and everybody's chasing, she looks to see if there is a horse or pony nearby.
There's lots of ponies and donkeys, no actual horses, but they're more look like they're for pulling carts of coal and such, so they're pretty beefy.
They probably still run fast for the dwarf, do you think?
Yes, they do.
So I'm going to immediately leap onto a pony and smack it, reach back and smack it right on its butt and be like, and start chasing after Zan.
Yeah, it starts walking.
Yes. I'm going to say it's kind of like an animal thing. Give me a wisdom check.
Okay. Wisdom's not too bad. Yeah, I failed. I got an 18 over 11.
Smack this thing. It just lets out this honking sort of sounds, and then just buries its face in the trough again and starts circling. Sort of, wags its tail and smacks you a few times trying to get you off. In the crowd, sort of leaves you behind. You'll see Tiva run past, yelling that those are hers. Sid run past, trying to get Tiva to stop, and him will run past, making weird motions towards Sid to stop, leaving you sort of with nobody around. Zahn, you would be up. You can outdistance these people with no problem. Do you go anywhere? Do you do anything?
So I would continue running, and my plan is if I turn around the next corner, if there is a door or something and it's open, I would rush in there, but only if they're not close enough to see me run in there. So I would constantly look over my shoulder.
All right. Yeah, it takes a little ways as you get ahead and scoot down a side alley, maybe down another side street. You pass by a few people here and there making their way towards the parade that's going on, who give you a strange glance. You can hear the rush of people behind, but you can quickly get out of their way and then maybe into a side building. Looks like maybe just a general store, flowers and foodstuffs, things like that, and shut the door behind you.
Is someone looking at me?
None of the people that were chasing you. I mean, there might be somebody passing by, but they don't really pay too much attention. Exactly.
No, but like the store owner?
Oh, nobody's in here.
Good.
Nope. It kind of looks like you're just giving these people a fun ride or something, so people don't really think too much of it.
So I look back to both of them, still sitting on my back, and I say, okay, so if I heard correctly, they all want to keep you, have you? They're yours? What?
They all...
Other way around, but what? You listen. I have now 2 days with fighting, being clubbed over my head. I lost my leg. Well, I still have it, but it's a long story. And I met a beholder. I saw illithids exploding. Did I leave anything out? Well, but that's bad enough. So after 2 days of all of this shit, and now the two of you, even not knowing you, why the hell? Why?
So you look, both of them are a little bit scuffed up and look like they've been hit a few times or dragged around and stuff. But they are probably the most beautiful pair of humans you have ever seen. And while you don't have the desire to own them or whatever, you can see that they're extremely attractive. Not necessarily in looks, but there seems to be that desire in your stomach that you're able to hold off, but you can see why everybody must want them.
Oh.
And they'll kind of look at one another in a panic. And you'll see the male, this younger kid, stand up, and he helps this girl up. And you reach out his hands. Thank you, Alan, and my daughter, or my sister, Gwen. He says, I don't know how to thank you. I don't know what the people want. They barged into our store this morning, and well, it was like quiet at first, and then the next thing you know, it started with a fight. And 2, and then 3. And as we ran outside to try and find help, more people started fighting, and I don't know what they want. I don't know.
You have a store here?
We work for our parents. We're just basic cobblers, and he'll kind of point to his very fine cobbled shoes. So I was just repairing some shoes for a gentleman, Mr. Scriver, and he all of a sudden reached out and tried to take my sister, and so I tried to push him off, and we ended up stumbling outside, and then more people entered the fray, and everybody went crazy. I don't know what the hell they wanted. They tried to take us, and Mr. Scrivener tried dragging her away, and the seamstress, she started beating on me, and
you know what? I hate this plane so close to chaos. This is just why? No, I won't ask you why you're living here. So how do we make this stop? Where is the dwarf, by the way? And I peek out of the window. If I does the pony walk around the corner?
Get the pony going.
You will see the crowd of people start to rush past, and it's more of the bigger mob runs past first. And behind that, you will see Tiva, followed by Sid, followed by Himmel. Way in the distance, slowly clopping along, is the donkey with Seda smacking its ass. Every now and then it stops and picks up some grass.
Shit. Listen, the two of you stay here, and I collect you when everything is fine again, hopefully soon.
So quickly nod and sort of slunk down behind so they can't be seen.
Yes, stay here. And I take a deep breath. And I open the door again. Oh my god. So
going, whoa, whoa, like that.
Tiva's running up going, they're mine.
I quickly close the door.
And Sid will be behind her saying, no, they're mine. They're mine. I'll have them before you damn halfling.
Oh my god.
And Himmel just makes motions like crazy trying to get them both to stop.
So I first run to Seda, and I quickly say, that must be magic. There is something weird. Those two live here, and suddenly everyone wanted to grab them. Something is really fucked up, and I'm not surprised. Let me tell you.
No, though I pretty much don't get surprised by anything anymore. Where's Tiva?
Can this thing go faster?
I can't even get it to stop.
Oh.
You'll start veering off in the wrong direction.
She pulls her axe out and like turns it sideways like she's going to clobber it on the head and starts to raise her arm really slow. Like that. She's like, when I say whoa, I mean whoa. And then she goes bonk and hits him the thing right on the head.
Seda, you're a natural.
Poor donkey will just faceplant into the dirt.
Oh my god.
She gets off of it and walks over and is just like, ugh! And then walks over to Zan.
Yeah, come on. Do it.
Okay, and then she leaps onto your back.
So, and I stand there and I'll watch that running procession for a few seconds more. And then I say, so, what do we do now? And I point at Tiva.
You see this crowd in the distance as they ran past where you're at, and they look like they're definitely looking for you, Zan, but they're kind of running down the street and where you assumably went. Tiva's behind them a little bit, but you'll see Sid finally just catch up, and he just dives through the air, tackling Tiva to the ground. What do you do, Tiva? Because he's going to be a lot faster than you are.
Oh, Sid's tackling me to the ground?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to try to dart out of the way.
Or wiggle out.
Or wiggle out. I won't be able to do so much because my arms are still in a cast, so to speak.
Yeah. Let's see if what is your defense again? Well, just give me your 12 plus your speed. He's definitely, so give me your 12 plus your dex mod. Is 16?
I got a 10.
Okay. I got a 17. So yeah, he's definitely able to, sort of jump through the air as you're more focused on running after these people, trying to figure out where those people that you own have went. And you feel yourself hit the dirt hard as he grabs a hold of you. He'll quickly roll you over, and he brings his hand up like he's just getting ready to pound you. You guys, Zahn and Seda, you're probably 20, 30 feet back as you see him do this. Himmel will run over and she like jumps on Sid's back trying to stop him. What do you two do?
I lean forward and say, well, I think we need to fix that problem first.
I charge.
And then she goes, yeah!
I'm just going to make one. Yeah, he just brings his fist down on you, Tivo. Just 1 point of damage as he slugs you across the face and brings it back, getting ready to do it again. You can see Himmo wrap around him and just like start bear hugging his face and chittering like crazy. The first noise you've actually heard her make as she has this panicked look on her face. And yes, Seda and Zan were technically out of initiative, so Seda and Zan, as you guys come up behind them, what do you do?
So I'm going to leap off her back, and I'm just going to walk right up to him and lean down, and kind of like Zan did with me earlier, and just lean down right in his face, and then just raise my hand back and just smack the ever-living shit out of him. Just be like, pow! To try and try and snap him out of it, and I'll probably like swing hard enough to like bowl him over backwards. But I'm going to smack the shit out of him for hitting Tiva.
Yeah, you see his head sort of snap back. This Himmel starts chittering like crazy and looks at you for a second, but understands, what you're doing and runs over to him as he's on the ground holding his face. Tiva, unfortunately, you have no desire but to go find these people. What do you do? But you know that Zahn took him. You can see Zahn without him now.
Oh, stop. Can I still act?
Sure, what do you do?
Because I saw her. Did I hear her screaming? They're mine.
Yeah,
I did, right?
Yep.
Okay, I sit on Tiva.
Oh,
Deal with that.
deal with that.
Like one of those really big dogs, like
Yes.
just
I used to have a Saint Bernard. I know exactly what.
exactly that.
I'll be like, oh, what are you doing? Get off me! I have to find them. What did you do with them? They're mine.
I point at Tiva and start giggling.
I put my hand on her mouth as well.
Say
that we have to figure this out. What?
Just trying to push on the butt.
So does oh crap, what's his name?
Sid
Look like he snaps out of it?
Yeah, he'll sit up for a few moments, shake his head, and you can see he definitely busted his nose, split his lip. He sort of spits to the side, and this glob of blood and a couple teeth. Shake his head. This glazed look, it looks like he's still a bit foggy, but he's has this utterly confused look on his face.
Sid, is that you again?
Sniff
Sid?
over and sort of mumble out something, nodding.
So Seda would look at her hand and then slowly look over toward Tiva and like slowly start walking over that way.
I keep her held on the ground while I talk to Sid and let Seda do what she has to do. Sid, is that you? Does anyone belong to you?
He shakes his head. Oh no! What the hell happened?
I don't know. Hang on, just for a moment, and I look at Seda and I nod. Do it.
So Seda rubs her hands together and smacks Tiva the same way, but she's gonna make sure she doesn't like belt her so hard to like make teeth come out. She's gonna give her a good bitch slap.
Do a 1d6 divided by 2, so 1d3 roll.
Only a 1.
All right, so 1 point of damage, Tiva, as he clocks you. As you watch him do this, Zahn, and you look up, you can see that crowd of people come around the corner again. One of them will stop and point in your direction, be like, "Hey, there she is!"
Oh,
they
shit!
Start to run again.
Tiva?
Or he is, I guess.
Do they belong to you?
Yes.
You would be knocked out of it once once Seda slugs you.
Oh, good.
I get knocked out of it. Okay. What?
You don't remember anything from seeing
Who?
them to now, though.
Why are you sitting on me? And why did Seda just smack me?
Yeah, later. It was all for the best of you. And I take her under my arm. Sid, let's go. Sid, come on.
Himmel will quickly grab a hold of Sid, dragging him up and following behind Zahn wherever you take him.
I have no idea where I'm going. Shit. Oh my goodness. Oh, Antiva can't even tell us about that guy. Where do we go?
Well, well, do I remember the kids?
No, you wouldn't.
No?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know where to go. Why are all these people fighting?
Because they've been magicked, I think. Something is very wrong here.
Maybe we
Over to the side, you can see these two kids sort of open the door and start waving for you to hurry up, Zahn.
Would I be able to run in before they see me running in?
Yeah, they're far enough down the street, and it's off to the side. So,
Okay,
yeah.
I charge.
Sid and Himmel right behind you. Probably Sid and Tiva, but yeah, they'll open up and sort of slam the door once everybody's inside and duck down.
Oh boy. I sit on the ground.
Alan will look at you sort of in silence. Thank you. I don't know how to thank you enough. You can hear the roar of these people as they rush by the window outside, screaming, looking for you once again.
Well, you can help by thinking. Did anyone do a spell on you or something? I mean, this is not normal.
Oh, nobody. I didn't see anybody cast a spell. And then you'll see the girl sort of look over at him. I might have done something.
What?
She says the Costa, those scaly people, they came through a few days ago, and I fixed up some boots and stuff, and they gave me a bottle of perfume. I just wanted to smell good today. I sprayed a bit along in the office. And...
In the whole office?
Well, I didn't quite get to clean myself as well as I should have. I wanted to smell pretty for the parade. She'll take it out. It's just a small vial. You can see that it's empty now. It looks exactly like the vial from way back when. Yeah.
You sprayed my dad.
Oh.
I take the vial and I hold it up in front of my eyes.
It's the same one that was spilled on like Zephyr's foot rags, and same one that those lizard people had a bag of that they gave Gabrielle and such.
Oh, this is bad. Are they still here?
No. They passed through 2 weeks ago.
Oh, probably.
Where to?
Or not 2 weeks, 2 days, sorry. To the north. They were headed to the Norns. I didn't ask. I fixed their boots and they paid with this. I still have 3 more vials.
What? Don't spray them.
I think we need to get rid of them. Those things are dangerous.
Oh, definitely.
I don't understand what I did. I just wanted to smell nice. It smells very beautiful.
It's not your fault. This is...
You were...
I briefly explain what we've seen in Sigil. And while I'm talking, I slip the vial into my bag. And I look at Seda and Tia. How long does that hold up? Forever?
With the perfume?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you're asking the wrong person.
Well, we're all not casters. This is terrible. Why? Oh.
If she sprayed herself in perfume, maybe we should just give her a bath.
Maybe it will just come off if we wash it off of her.
I'm not sure. Sid, I know you're not a caster of that sort, but do you have any knowledge about magic like that?
It seems to be a bit of a charm of some sort or something. I'm not a charmer. We could ask around town. I know a few people that have a bit of skills in the magics, but we'd have to make sure that they don't see these two or something. I don't.
Seda looks around to see if there's a tub in this house.
It's a general store, so no, not really.
A bucket and a scrub brush, and I bet I can fix it.
They should still have some skin on their bones, Seda. Maybe with alcohol? I'll look around if there is some of that mead, fish mead.
Oh yeah, they sell that. Definitely, that's the most popular drink around.
Oh,
Nice
God.
bottle of fish mead.
I grab one of those and I look at it and at the two of them. Well, it won't be pretty, but it's worth a try.
Yeah, I guess.
All the town drunks are going to love you, but
Huh?
better than what you have now.
You'll take it and unstopper it. And, well, do we just pour it on us? Or do we drink it?
You know,
No.
take your clothes off and just
Yeah.
rub it all over.
Yeah.
I take a rag and throw it at him. Scrub it down, sister.
She'll kind of slinker off, and her brother as well with their own bottles and rags, behind the counter somewhere. And all you guys can smell is a strong stench of, it smells like perfumey honey and rotting fish.
Nice.
Oh, good. Oh,
For a few minutes, and they'll come out, and their clothes seem to be drenched in it as well. As you look upon them, though, they are still probably the most beautiful human beings you've ever seen.
dang.
Well,
No, you're still too pretty.
How do we know they're not just normally that pretty?
Don't ask questions like that.
She kind of shrinks back and looks out the window again, and they could be just pretty people.
Not that pretty. Sid, who was the closest finger wiggler, you know?
Finger wiggler?
Yeah.
Caster. What?
No, it's awesome. I've used that term too.
Yeah.
This is Cather. He has a small apothecary a couple blocks over.
A couple of blocks. Oh.
Says, I don't know anybody closer. I mean, most people are at the parade. Cather's a bit of a grump. I doubt he's there. He
I can
probably
go,
won't be happy, but I mean,
I can go get him.
I'm not happy either. Yeah, convince him.
says if you guys want to stay here, me and Seda, we can go get him.
Sure, go ahead. We'll guard the door.
He'll sort of look over at you, Seda. I can lead you there. I mean, I can talk to him. Maybe he might want a bit of a price. He's a
Just convince him with the axe.
There's no maybe. He's coming.
Mhm.
Lead the way.
He says, yeah. You open up the door and makes a few motions towards him, and she'll nod and hurry over and sort of set these two younger people down. And it seems like she's checking them over to make sure that they're at least okay and not injured. She'll, patch up your little butt wound, Zan, and make sure you're okay as well. As Sid and Seda, you exit out the door. Way in the distance, you can hear music playing and people screaming, and it sounds more of like a party and the parade's going on and stuff. The street is pretty much deserted all the way around. You can see just a few stragglers here and there who are making their way to the parade and stuff, all decked out in these wildflower gowns and hats. Guys, it's been a hell of a day so far. What do you think of the town anyway? I think you'd enjoy the parade. I'm just trying to lighten the mood. I don't know what to say under. It's strange.
I was kind of hoping to watch the parade, but yes,
It's beautiful. They make wildflower floats, and it's a wonderful thing.
it's just one thing after another around here, though.
But right off the street here, we should be able to get right in there. Lead you a couple blocks over around the corner. See this small building made out of brick, fairly well taken care of. There's some flowers and stuff out front. There's a big closed sign on the door, and he'll give it a couple of raps and open it up. It smells like a basic apothecary. All these medicinal sort of smells in this thing wafted out. A couple candles and braziers scattered around that are lit up the inside. You can see this old man sitting back in the corner, looking over what seems to be some sort of ledger or something, and counting coins. And just his eyes under these big furry brows look up at the two of you. Sid'll kind of offer a little bit of a wave, like, "Hi, Cather. How you doing?" This old man just grumbles something under his breath, stares at you very unhappily for a moment, Seda, and then goes back to counting this pile of coins. "What do you want?" he says. "I'm not going to the parade. I'm not in the mood for it today," he said. "Who's your friend?"
I'm Seda Ironbeard of the clan Ironbeard.
"Your beard don't look like iron to me. You ain't even got a beard."
But it's a clan family name.
Should get a better name. Maybe Iron Chin, Bald Chin or something. What
Probably.
do you want? What do you want?
I want you to come with us, if you would, please. They have a problem with two of the nice people in your town. Something's happened to them, and the entire rest of your town is going crazy, trying to take them and claim that they own them because she sprayed herself with some kind of stupid perfume. And you're supposed to be the smartest guy in town on how to do this stuff.
I probably am the smartest one around here. I suppose I could help. What's in it for me?
Well, there's
A lock of your hair, dwarf. I'll do it for a lock of your hair.
well, I was going to say that I won't have to knock you unconscious and drag you over there myself, because I don't have the words to describe how much I am not in the mood to fuss and fight and argue, but I do have a whole lot of hair. So if a lock of your hair is all that my hair is all you need, fine. I'll give
Dwarf hair makes excellent braided material. I can make a nice satchel or something. Just a lob of it. It'll be okay.
So she actually pulls out her big giant dwarven axe and like pulls a lock of her hair and just kind of goes, "Think," and shows how sharp it is, and then lays it on the table and puts her giant axe back. She's like, "Now, would you please?"
Well, give me a moment to gather my things. A perfume, you say? Is it something they bought here, did they say?
No, some strange people came through town 2 days ago, and apparently they traded it for leather work or boot work or something like that.
All right, well, give me a moment to get to my things. I don't know what I'm dealing with yet. I'll be out in just a moment. Just a moment. You can go outside now. I don't like to be watched as I gather my things.
Oh, okay. So she reaches up and takes the lock of hair off the bar and then walks out the front door.
I said, no. You leave the hair with me. I have to put that away.
Yeah, you'll get it when we're done. And I'm a dwarf, and we don't renege on deals. I don't know about the dwarves here, but the dwarves where I come from are honest.
Very well.
And she
If
walks.
you cross me, though, I will make sure you're bald forever.
Okay.
And that you dwarf, your blade never carries a edge. But that's besides the point. Yeah, scuffle down behind the counter. Looks like you can just hear all these bottles rattling and different things and crashing sounds and everything as he seems to scurry about. Sid will wander around the store for a moment as you're talking to him, keeping a close eye, but once he mentions not to be in there as he gets his thing, Sid will hurry up and go outside and sort of waits for you on the corner. As you grab your lock of hair, Seda, talk to him for just a moment, you step outside, look over, you can see Sid standing like stark, stiff at the corner of this building, his eyes wide as he looks at you. And he's just kind of shakes his head a little bit.
So
And then puts his hands up like this. You can see this woman behind him, and I'll put a picture of her in the Facebook chat real fast. Maybe I will. Right there. She looks like she's elven of some sort, but her ears are much more pointed. She wears basic, looks like a black leather armor, beautiful ornate sword on her hip, and these different little skulls and faces adorn her armor. Her skin is almost like a drowse, like a dark, grayish black sort of shade, and her eyes glow with this greenish light. Her hair itself waves, it's almost like shadow, kind of cascades off of it, and it moves and manipulates almost like a fog. And she sort of steps to the side a little bit, just enough to peer over Sid's shoulder. I can see that she's about the same height as him, much, much skinnier, though. Don't move, dwarf.
This is from her?
Yep.
And she's in... Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, she's outside behind.
Yep. Right behind him on the corner. My blade is set upon his back. You move and I'll stick it deep within his spine. It'll hurt very much. You'll probably be paralyzed, maybe even dead. I just want a few words.
Well, okay, you can have a few words, but if you stick that in him, the pain that will come, I am so aggravated right now. I don't want to fight you, and you don't want to fight. So
I would gut you too, dwarf. Don't jest with me right there. I don't have time for your funny talk. Just you stay right there. Put your blade on the ground.
Okay. And then she reaches up and she pulls her axe out, and then she turns it like so that she can put her hands on the pommel, and she puts the head of the axe right down on the ground with her hands resting on the pommel like that. She says, "It's on the ground."
Very well. You stand just like that. Don't move, eh? Give me a save verse spell. Let me get my... I guess really it would be save versus magical device in this case.
Magical device.
And it's going to be at a +3 to your roll.
+3 in a good way or a bad way?
Well, it would be a bad way, so actually -3. I'm trying to convert this over from AD&D. It's a little bit harder. So yeah, -3 to the roll.
So I still nailed it. -3, I got a 12 over 7.
All right. So you feel your muscles stiffen up a little bit, and your finger joints seem to kind of lock into place a moment. And your eyes will sort of narrow at you for a second. Quite a stout dwarf you are, but that is only a sign of what I can do if you really truly wish to move. And I suggest you stay right there. And I'll just have a few words with Sid here. So you just take just a moment, eh? You'll step off to the side. You see Sid just gives you this panicked look. You see her hand reach out and grab him by the back of his collar and just pull him to the side, right around the corner of this building. What do you do? You're probably about 20 feet away.
I would say you can have your conversation out here where I can see you. And don't try your magic again because it doesn't work.
The only reply you get is the scream of Sid.
God damn
it. As you look sort of where he is, you see like a movement up in the corner, and you look up. You can see this girl leap into the air impossibly high, and then these huge bat-like wings sprout from her back. They too look like shadow. Sort of in her hands, she holds Sid, who's screaming like crazy, and she has a tight grip around him. And then from a building across the way, a second, and then a third, you see 3 more humanoid-like things. These great big bird-like, vulture-like wings. They look like naked females. These low-hanging breasts and skull-like faces. Their feet are these huge talons, and they take off after her as they start to carry Sid away to the north in the sky. And I'll put a picture of those things into the chat as well.
Was she flying on her own, or was she riding on something?
Nope, she was flying. These huge, shadowy, bat-like wings kind of sprout from her back. And then 3 of those skull-faced, naked harpy bird things follow her.
What the hell?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, those are somewhat terrifying.
Where the hell did your friend go? Where is Sid? You can look over and see Cather as he stands in the doorway, this big satchel of bottles and stuff that he's holding on to. It's like, I don't have all damn day. I got shit to do. And
I'm gonna
people to see. Where are we going, dwarf? Where are we going? Looking all glazed-faced.
I'm going to spin around and grab him by his arm at the top and give him a squeeze, and I'm going to go, shut up. And then I'm immediately pull him and start walking with him toward the building. To remind him how much I'm not in the mood. I've got an angry Seda now.
You see this sort of astonished look on his face. He just kind of nods and follows behind you quietly the rest of the way over to this building, not saying a word.
That's right. So I take him into the house and open the door and push him in. And I point at the 2 people and I tell him, I said, I'm sorry, I point at the brother and the sister and I say, tell him everything about the perfume. And then I put my hand on his back and push him over toward them. And then I turn to Zan and Tiva and explain to them exactly what just happened with the guy whose name I never can remember.
Sid?
Sid.
Yeah, and my daughter Sid is sitting behind me. I should be able to. And I turn to Tiva and Zion and explain to them what just happened with Sid, the whole thing. And then once I get done explaining about the elf-looking woman and the horrible-looking harpy things, and then I finish off my quick tale with, I really, looking at Zan and go, I really, 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 really hate this place that you live.
Catherine will stumble forward as you shuffle forward, but he'll hurry right over to these 2 and start checking them over. Do you mention what happens within earshot of Himmel?
I mean, I'm assuming that Seda is not smart enough to care, and she's probably, I mean, we're all in the same little room there, so Seda would probably not take, because she's agitated, she would not take the precautions of being particularly quiet. She would just, because she's pissed. So
See, him will run over then, and she's just chittering like absolute crazy, making signs and this panicked look on her face.
So I reach up and I put my hands on each side of her face, the little chipmunky face, and I tell her, I don't know what you're saying. I'm really sorry. I tried my best, but they got away, and I never even had a chance.
Do you know of those creatures? I first look at his daughter, but then I looked at the other 2 because, we don't understand her.
Can you write? And can ask her if she can, because she's dumb. She's going to look at Zan and say, ask her if she can write in her language.
You see this just absolute panic and almost despair across her face. Even as you're starting to say that, Seda, she just bolts all down, almost like a squirrel, down on all 4s from this room, her tail flicking as she just runs out the doorway and down the street.
Is there any chance to grab her?
You can make a dexterity. Give me a dexterity plus your modifier roll.
Oh, yeah.
That way.
My dex is only 12. But I got a 19.
All right, well, she got a 21, so.
Damn it.
Yeah, extremely agile. You can see she kind of bounces off one of the bookshelves and almost clambers across the wall. These huge claws on her fingers, gripping a hold. She'll climb across part of the door frame out the door and partly runs alongside of the building before jumping into the street and just on all fours, skittering like a squirrel, hauling ass down the street, chittering and like absolutely panicked.
At that time, Seda would just sigh really heavily and just be like, well, there goes that.
And Eva's going to look at Santa. Do you have any idea where they took Sid?
She kind of looks for a minute and then puts her fingers over there and turns to the north and goes, that way. Whichever way that way is.
The person you're talking about is called Talisman. You'll see old Cathers, he glares over his shoulder at you. If you would have just said something, dwarf, I could have helped you out. Instead, you have to ponder ass and complain like a typical beardless dwarf. And
Stop insulting her. What do you know about that person?
well, I don't know. How much money do you have for you?
Are you serious?
So I take my fist and I like try my best to just drive it right through a table that's right there in the room to smash the tabletop. And then, do you need me to make a strength roll for that?
No, not at all.
Okay, so I'm gonna like bash one of the wooden tables and just like shatter the board that makes the table and go boom, and I'm gonna go about that much.
Such a temper dwarves always have. He'll turn towards these two young people and
idea what we've been through.
motion for them to have a seat as he gives them both a small little vial that they start rubbing and like a lotion that they're putting on their skin and stuff. They just kind of remain quiet, wide-eyed as you smash this table. He'll gather up his things and come over. She's a Cambion, a daughter of the Harpies. A nuisance here in town, an escort, or what some call a service woman of the Tanari. Likes to come through, cause a little havoc now and then. Perhaps.
Did you say Tannery?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Demonic creatures.
Yes.
Them are the ones. But she's like a messenger. There's used to be a resident of the town, a young girl, her parents, can't remember their names, a lovely young couple. But up and ahead to the north, there's the Harpy Queen, or the Maiden of the Sky, she calls herself. She came through and took a few meals, I guess you'd call them. I ended up kidnapping the young girl and her parents. And from that, well, whatever happened, we don't quite know, but she considers herself the daughter of the Harpies now.
Fantastic.
Likely she'll just take the man, rape him, feed off of him, maybe have a few children. But
Oh, that's not too bad.
well, there's many worse things that could happen. It's sad, don't doubt. Sid was a good man, but well, it is what it is.
No, it's not. If everyone would think like that. Oh, just take care of those two, please.
You look over at you, say to they should be fine, and they can go do their thing. A lock of your hair, and I'll be gone.
Just give it to him, otherwise I will have to hit him.
Hey, you're muted, Rush.
I think you're muted.
Yeah, sorry, I was actually talking to realize it. She pulls it out of her pocket and walks over, and as she passes on, she just kind of looks like she says, "Yeah, well, you're gonna have to wait in line," and then she like slams the hair down, and then walks over and like sits down in a childlike huff at the table because she's completely confused as to what's going on and frustrated that she can't figure it out.
He'll give you that sort of snooty sort of smile, taking your hair, shoves it in his pack, and starts to head out. Just let me know if you need any more services. I'll be right at the apothecary. As you can hear the clop of his shoes down the street. Alan and Gwen will come over. They smell kind of rancid at the moment, whatever this lotion is, as they continue to smother themselves. Says, that him and Sid didn't get along the best. You'll have to excuse him. He knows what he's doing, but he's a bit of an asshole. But what he said is true. talisman, we were always told the story. Do you know the stories of harpies? I sort of look at you all.
Uh,
No.
oh, my mom.
No.
There's a woman that lived in. There's a dwarf that lived in our stronghold. My mom used to always call her a harpy, but I just thought it was just a bad name you called people. I didn't know that was what that meant. Of course, it puts everything in a little bit better perspective now.
Says, well, let me give you a bit of the background story, and at least maybe it'll help make sense of the situation. I don't know what she would have to do with Sid, but I'm just a simple cobbler here in the town. But anyway, there was once this woman whose tribe was quite venerated. They followed the footsteps of their ancestors, these great men who led their tribe to battle for centuries, scouring across the land to the north. Some people call them Vikings or Norsemen or followers of Odin. They had different names and tribes, but they set across an excursion and started taking over bits and pieces of the outlands and other plains. But regardless of all that, as the generations passed down through, they heavily venerated the men of this tribe, and the women were what you would call breeders. They didn't really hold any status or quo among these warrior men in the tribe. But there was one young lady, a maiden. Her name is lost to the books, but all the men of this tribe, they coveted her. They said that no one could match the singing of her hymns. She sang of great deeds that these men could do. But when the men listened to her voice, they became enthralled by the beauty. And one night they all set upon her to have their ways, if you will, and left her but a bloody, weeping mess by morning. She beseeched the tribe for this. She demanded justice, but they refused her. She said that they had corrupted her, and they agreed. And with that, she was even less of a person, even less of a woman of their tribe. They said that when she sang these hymns, that she was corrupting them with her own corruption for the loss of her virginity. It says, and they used that to demean her and cast her from this tribe, even though it was them that did this. And so she communed with the ancestors and called upon them in the smokes. She demanded justice from them, and they too would have nothing to do with her, for she was but a whore. And with that, she looked for other help, and she went to the nine hells, and she beseeched the demons for justice, but they answered. And so they forged her into this instrument of terror, that she might visit upon her abusers what they did upon her. They twisted her beauty into this foulness of this vulture-like creature whose voice was that of the epitome of music, of hymn, but that she was a skull-faced hag of a whore with vulture-like wings and talons. And these talents that they gave her, that they would tear a man from limb. They imbued her with this unnatural strength so that she could tear them apart. But they kept her voice, and she used it to call out to these men, to captivate them, to seduce them, so that she could have her way and corrupt them as they corrupted her. And then she would gut them, eviscerate them, and leave them to die a bloody mess, just as they had done to her. And so it came to pass that these tribes folk had, one by one, been killed off by her through her music, her song, and with each one she would lay a brood of eggs, and more harpies were born, her children, and thus became the harpies. They're all female, set upon the men to rape them, fertilize themselves, lay more eggs, and destroy them all. She still lies in the north, this maiden of wings. Deep within her nest, this great ancient tribe woman, singing her songs and killing men by the dozens. It is said that Talisman, her real name has long since been gone. I couldn't tell you, but that her parents were the victims of this Maiden of Wings, and well, you see, she has a fondness for young girls, a remembrance of what she once was within the tribe. She'll often raise the kidnapped daughters of those that she kills as one of her own. That is where Talisman comes in, a daughter of the Harpies and raised amongst them to be one of them. Talisman is said to have other magics, other properties, some deals she might have made with the Tannery. Some say that there's a portal to the Abyss someplace here in town. I don't know anything of that, but that's the story that we're told, to stay far away from her and to hide when she comes into the town.
Of course. Why can't it be just goblins? You know? Oh, we can't let him be destroyed like that. Can we?
When you mentioned why can't it just be goblins? Say it as like, yeah, if only. So the elf woman, the pretty elf woman that flew away, that's, you said
Talisman is her name.
Oh, that was Talisman. Okay.
Right.
Because
the other creatures you saw were just typical harpies.
What were the Tannery again?
Well, it's said that she connives with them. She's a messenger for theirs, turned for bringing them information, and whatever they ask of her, she's imbued with other powers. Some say that she can fly, or she's can freeze men in their steps.
Those are demons.
I must apologize. Sid is a good man. I've never known somebody who cares more about this town, but it's hard to say that he's gone. There's no way you can take on Talisman and her sisters. He's as good as dead.
Right? But he just basically helped us survive.
I'm sorry, I wish I knew, but they'll likely just use them for their own. And he sort of blushes a little bit.
Yeah, I understand.
And eats him alive.
Do we know where they are?
To the north is the nest. It's said to the main path out of town will lead eventually into the Northlands. There's a couple side passages that lead into the mountains. One is called the Blasphemous Path. It's said that their nest is somewhere in the mountains upon the path, but nobody goes that way that has a sane mind.
Well, I guess we will.
Is there any hunters or anything like that from town that might have gone that way?
We're just simple mining folk, because we don't really have many hunters besides here and there little things. But to get up there, you'd probably need a Norseman or one of the tribal men. Nobody here really ventures too far out. We're just meager folk.
Well, Seda would look at the other two and she would mention that it doesn't excite me to have to go after people like that, but at the same time, I mean, if it hadn't been for him, you'd be without a leg and her arms still wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
I kind of feel like we owe him.
But while I want to help, I need to rest first.
Well, that's without question.
So not functioning.
Yeah.
And he had said that it would take several days.
2 days. Yep.
Oh, 2 days? I thought you said 5.
Yeah, because they put the stuff on you and popped your arms back. He said it would take about 2 days before you get some arms.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 5. But yeah, so I need to rest.
I get that stare into nothingness for a moment, and then I look back. What was the oh, hang on. What did Blisswin say to us? He was looking for something, right?
Lisbon the Beholder.
Yes.
Hold on. I don't remember, and unfortunately, I didn't get to write that down.
Yeah, I didn't write it down either.
Yeah, we probably pissed our pants, so.
I got his name written down, but that was it. Actually, Michelle wrote that. Hold on. Nope.
I kind of think that a beholder would be a very fitting opponent for a blasted nest of harpies.
So we should ask for his help?
Well, he probably won't help us, but maybe we can convince him that it would be a good idea to send some glances, into their direction.
Well, I don't know. Last time I tried to talk to that thing, it didn't go well.
Well, he technically didn't kill us, right?
Well,
True.
This doesn't make you feel any better about it.
Well, do you feel better about running into a nest of harpies? Being outnumbered? Gods know how many children she has.
And then I'll just kind of stare at you while same with Gwen, astonished that you're even considering this.
Well, we're desperate.
I mean, it's worth the try. I mean, if he wants to try to kill us, we could just run away.
Yeah.
I've already made the decision that I'm probably never going to get home, and I'm probably going to die here. So I'm going to die here. I might as well die something good.
In an epic way.
Yeah. So
What do beholders want? Beholders want power, and they want to be the only one with power.
Maybe we could tell him that it's a very powerful harpy, and he needs to defeat the harpy.
Why did he come after the mind flayers? Didn't he say something? I can't remember. I really wet my pants. But he said something about he was after the mind flayers, and those were presumably the proxies. So maybe we could tell him that we found out that the harpy is a proxy of a god.
Yeah.
And that she is challenging his power in this realm. And then we just have to run after him in his wake and grab Sid. I must inform you, though, Zan only has 9 int, so...
It sounds like a flawless plan.
I think so, too.
this might be more of a wisdom thing, though.
Well, it's 9 as well. Yeah. I think that's a great idea.
Oh yeah, great plan. Get ourselves in with the beholder.
Well,
We're gonna die.
yeah, but imagine going into a nest of, let's say, 50 harpies, which is probably not too much. And
He says, "Do you really think it's 50?"
Well, 50 are enough for a gangbang already, so
Golly.
Um,
and you're not male, just saying. I'm the one in the biggest danger here.
You see this younger girl hold up a finger as what she says. Well, most harpies usually just stay in a small sisterhood of maybe 15 to 20.
Oh, that's way better. Especially considering that this talisman is with them. Oh boy.
I think you're all nuts for even considering this. I mean, it's a death wish. A beholder? I mean, Lisbon is, I guess, what people would call a king of a tyrant of the underworld.
See, that's a good idea then. If someone can get or exact revenge on someone, it would be him here, right? No?
She just stares at you in wonderment.
Well, where can we find this beholder?
If it's only 15, we only got to kill like 5 apiece.
You have seen them.
I mean, all they did was fly. They didn't really do anything.
In the distance, you can hear this pitter patter and then the screech. And then right outside the door, you can see Himmel as she runs across part of this building and comes in chittering. She'll run right up, probably to Seda, as you kind of gave her like the nicest sort of thing. And she puts her hands on your shoulders, just stares at you for a moment, and then she'll start making motions and chittering and like runs to the door and waves you forward and then runs back to you and then runs to the door.
So I get up, but I'll look at her and I'll say, we were introduced to her by name, right?
Yes.
Himmel, yeah.
Himmel, can you write?
And she'll just shake her head no.
Of course. Why? Why should she?
And she'll make some signs with her hands and stuff. And kind of pats her chest and make some more signs.
Yeah, squeaker.
Huh.
Squeaker makes squeaker.
I was thinking, is Timmy in the well?
All I can do is think about the guy from the Emperor's New Groove. Oh yeah, there's a. So Seda would look back and say, "Well," and just throw her hands up and leave them up in the air and say, "Should we just follow her? She knows."
Yeah, at least look out of the window. Himmel, we had a great idea. So what about taking Blisswind to the nest?
She'll just go completely silent and wide-eyed.
That's a good idea, right? What do you think? Not for yes and no, you shake your head.
Yeah, that's a real resounding no as she shakes her head.
I kind of
no. You even get the whole no sort of symbol.
I lean into him and go, I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
I look disappointed.
She'll pat Seda on the head and then
Seda looks at her and goes, yes. And she says, okay, go take us where you want us to go.
She will step out, and she still has that more animalistic sort of crouch to where she's down on four and just runs down the street, heading north.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
Himmel, we first have to talk about... do signs.
I shout. I say, hold on just a second, and then we will go. Come back for just a second. Please.
Oh, dang.
She'll stop long enough to look over. Yeah, she's too dead set on this amendment, but you can see that she just has almost this sad look on her face, like she was hoping you would follow, but she'll turn and just take off running to the north.
Oh,
Gosh.
Oh, dang! Come on! I'll run after her.
we have a no-armed halfling, Zan.
What? She will die up there. We'll make it work. Shit.
Come on, noodly arms. And then I grab her and start pulling her along and stumping after him.
Just sighs. Fine.
Behind you,
Don't call me noodle arms.
the pale, confused faces of Alan and Gwyn just stare at you out the windows. They watch you go down the street. You will see Himmel off in the distance. After giving you that last look, though, she's just on a dead set run. She doesn't seem like she's really stopping. Being the basic layout, being in the town that you've been in, you would know that she's headed towards the north gate that would head in that direction. Yeah.
I would shout to her not to run so fast because we can't keep up. And see if maybe she'll slow down and go with us, but
At the moment, she's far ahead.
okay.
Any last things, and we can end it there for the evening, I think.
The Beholder would have been way easier. Just saying.
Yeah, but he would have killed us all.
As you run through, you can see off into one of the side streets, the parade going through, and people cheering, and all these wildflowers drifting down. Everybody seems like they're really enjoying the parade as you run through these empty streets, following a crazed furry squirrel.
We're so fucked. I thought we were fucked last time, but no, this time.
Well,
This time.
We're in better physical shape.
Yeah, not for long.
I've only got like 5 health points.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and I'm on 9.
we're not going to be able to run all that way this whole time. You're going to have time to heal on the way.
Okay.
Is it possible that you're again full hit points, Zeta?
Yeah, she's at full. Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
No, I'm not at full. I'm missing 2.
Oh boy.
Oh no, Sadie got bashed around from the fight and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, you poor dwarf.
Damn, I've got 42 now.
Oh, just shut up. Oh my god. I had such an amazing idea. No.
Well, let's hear it.
Yeah, Blissman. That would have been amazing.
It would have been, but if we would have...
You just don't have imagination. You don't understand me.
I do.
I'm disappointed.
I do understand you.
Ah.
Thank everybody for watching and enjoying the misadventures of this crew. I will end the broadcast here and figure out from there.
Awesome.